Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to the Hood Table one more again. It's your girl Tanya, and I'm up here with my bro, and his name today is Bishop Billy Buckwheat Bartholomew Johnson. I think after all that is Junior to the third or the fifth or something. Something like that. But yeah, come on, everybody. Come on in. Make sure you like and share the video. Subscribe to the Hood Table, please. If you're not already subscribed to the Hood Table, please and thank you very much. I know some of you guys have heard the trending news. What's been trending like since Thanksgiving. That happened here in our hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. So we will be discussing some local news, some local things that went down in our very own city, over the past few days since Thanksgiving, and some other recent incidents that happened as recent as earlier today. But first thing first, for the people who might not have heard, I mean, everybody's discussing this, bro. Even I know you like Willie D. So I don't know if you listened to Willie D. Did you listen to him discuss the topic?
Well, yeah, I mean that's funny because I'm like, damn, I'm down here in the TX, and that's where I heard it. Like, how the hell is this breaking news? I'm like, hold up, man, what you mean? And it didn't dawn on me, but it had posted on my thing, but I'm just now checking it. So I'm like, hold on, when did this happen? It was like Thanksgiving, a couple days. I'm like, hold on, man, what is this about? So it just didn't dawn on me, and then and as soon as I hit the video. You know how before the video actually get ready to start, like if it shows like a still, like the picture, I said Omaha police. I said, oh hell no! I already know exactly what was going on. And he got the posting. Such and such Omaha, Nebraska. I said, oh, see, nigga
Did
shit.
you hear how he said it though?
Well, you
When
know,
people say our city name, they sound so weird.
Omaha, man.
Omaha,
Yeah,
Omaha.
yeah, Nebraska. They know
Yeah,
the city of the Bud Crawford. They
yeah,
know
the
what
city of
it is.
Bud Crawford. Yes, yes. Hey, Charlie, what's up, Charlie? I might have to drop the link for you, the stanky link, as we call it over here, for you a little bit later, because I heard they threw you up in some stuff up here on these
Uh-uh.
beef sector streets. So we about to talk to our
It's
girl,
too
Charlie.
early. It's
We
too
might have to
early
talk to
now.
our white chocolate. Okay, that's what I
Uh,
call my SUV. By the way, also Charlie. So no shade, no shade. It's all up.
Cherry
But
pick
yes,
to you.
they sure did, and we sure might discuss that with you if you want to. You don't have to, but yeah, I think that's an interesting
You gonna
topic.
come on discussing anyway. You know how we do. I
But yeah,
already
we love us
know.
some Charlie. We love us some Charlie over here. But okay, so let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get right into it. For those of y'all who don't know, again, it's some trending news. Something that happened on Thanksgiving here in our city of Omaha, Nebraska. And unfortunately, my laptop is still down. So the only thing I can do is play the video and let you listen to the video because I can't do it on the StreamYard. So let me do this real quick, okay?
You good.
Hold on one second. Okay, I'm about to play it now, bro. If you can't hear it, let me know, okay?
For sure.
Prosecutors will charge this Omaha father with manslaughter in the death of his 10-year-old son.
And police found them both at their home near 31st and Myrtle Thanksgiving night. They say McDonald thought he was shooting someone else, but they say he shouldn't have had a gun at all.
KETV Newswatch 7's Kel Larson is live with the update.
Yeah, Julie, prosecutors say 47-year-old Will McDonald heard a car alarm going off, walked outside, saw people by his car, and fired his gun. Only then did he realize he shot his own child.
It's beyond belief. It's so sad. It's very tragic that this 10-year-old lost his life in this sort of circumstance.
Will McDonald's 10-year-old son died at Nebraska Medicine Thanksgiving night. Douglas County Attorney Don Klein says the shooting never should have happened because of McDonald's previous gun conviction.
We do everything we can under our existing gun laws to make sure people who shouldn't have guns don't have them. And if they do have them, we prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Now, prosecutors will charge McDonald with manslaughter, use of a firearm, and felon in possession, second offense.
This individual, based on the evidence we're alleging, that he's going to be held accountable and responsible for taking this 10-year-old's life, whether it's his son or not.
Klein says there are cases when people can use deadly force, but this wasn't one of them.
Whether somebody's stealing a bicycle off your front porch, or you're doing something to your car, or whatever it might be, using deadly force in that manner is not justified. That's our law is pretty clear in that regard.
McDonald's due in court tomorrow morning.
Child, did y'all hear all that?
They do, man.
Hey, Karma Diva.
He knew the rule. He knew the rule. All is well, sir. Yeah, he knew the rule. Point is that, and see, I'm from the NEB, just like whenever they can dig me up 1,000 years from now, and they check my doggone bone marrow out of my DNA, they's gonna say Omaha, Nebraska, North Omaha, Nebraska in particular. The point is that if he knows and understands that, dude, you are a fella with gun charges, why, for the hill of beans of me and the John Cotton Picking Brown, why would your half-ass retarded ass literally, like, you're that nervous, like you're that miscombobulated where you heard somebody that you thought was messing with your car and you come out and shoot blazing, like you didn't understand, like, really?
What did you do?
Like what would nigga?
Who got you on edge?
I'm trying to figure out what bar was you at, or whose version of beer did you buy? Was it Filthy Fields, or was it Chubbs, or was it the Old House of Poetry, or the Crab House? I don't know, nigga. What the fuck was you thinking with your dumb ass? Boy, you dumber than two left shoes going in a circle continuously for no reason. You just a grain of table salt slow. You fucked up. He ain't look my ass. He knew what the hell he was doing. It ain't that much combobulations coming, especially if you coming from the side, or especially back home when you come from the side of the house, or you think of somebody. Come on, man. It ain't that deep. And I mean, whatever vehicle that you got, I don't give a damn if you was on 38s, 36s, in a Bentley. I don't care. It ain't that deep. No, you intentionally you hyped yourself up, and that man got himself caught up, and his dumb ass ain't understanding. He not down south. He not down in the southern states. He not down in a gun friendly area. That's for the nope. He is from the NEB, and guess what? He is about to be in Tecumseh for quite a while. I got a cousin might take a liking to him, and may ask him for his cornbread.
That's what everybody is asking, bro. And what's up, Carmel Diva? That is one of our co-hosts. She is feeling a little bit under the weather, so she probably won't jump on the link. But Carmel Diva is supporting from the chat, from the bushes. So everybody wave and say hi and hope you feel better. But if you do feel like you want to hit the link, feel free. Charlie, anybody else, if you feel like you want to hit the link, feel free. But again, this is some local news. I know y'all know what the Hood Table platform is about. We discuss everything from the hood news, local news, and beyond, and B sector stuff. But we're starting off with some hood news today. And basically, as you heard, or as you might have heard, I mean, all the biggest bloggers is talking about it. Omaha done hit the map for something, and it ain't good, okay? But yeah, this man, he basically came out of his house. He came out of his house, and did I say hi to everybody? Hey, JoJo, what's up? Chill out. He came out of his house, and this was Thanksgiving Day, the day that we're supposed to be thankful, celebrating with family and friends, our loved ones, eating good foods. For those who, who a lot of people don't, practice certain, pagan holidays. But, for those of us who do, those are the things we're supposed to be doing. But instead, this man, he hears or sees somebody outside, and this was over in the area of 31st and Myrtle. You know where that is, bro. Off of 31st and Myrtle, down there past Hamilton. And he hears or believes he sees somebody. Yeah, he believes he sees somebody trying to break into his car, steal his car, vandalize, something like that.
Man, it's
And
lit
he
up over
starts
there. That's a
shooting.
bullshit ass excuse.
He just starts shooting. Like, and then somebody said, we hope that a lot of people are saying, we hope that this really was an accident and not
Uh,
purposely done. Now, I didn't
who
think about
knows?
that at all. I didn't, that didn't cross my mind at
I
all.
did. I did.
Ooh, ooh.
I did. I sure did because you gotta understand, man. Look, man. If a person look, what's the relationship between him and the son's mother, and that'll tell you everything. Whether y'all want to take it for its worth a grain of salt or not. Look at the relationship between him and their son's mother. Because if he really, really was sorry and sad about it, that man would be so tore up and tore down. He wouldn't even. He. You know how Terry Owens when he always just did her interviews got the bubbles snot coming out of his nose when the bubble you. I mean, you just feeling just awkward. You done been broke down bad, sad. When you got that big bubble of snot coming out your nose and you and hiccuping and all that. Yeah, that's when you hurt. That nigga ain't showed not one motherfucker goddamn me remorse or nothing. Even in the picture in the mug shot. Was you that drunk? Was you that intoxicated? Man, you just killed your own son, bro. I wouldn't even, I probably would just passed out like, well, damn, what the, oh my God, like, damn. Cause my thing is,
I know I would have passed out. Like, take me now. Take
like,
me
I'm like,
now.
oh man, no, I did it because what I'm going to tell his mother? Especially if we had a very good relationship. It's like, dude, what, was you drinking? Yeah, I was. That right there, man. My family's distraught. It's toe up. It's done. Especially if alcohol's involved, or if I was there. Well, I'm too high in my mind, too drunk on my damn mind to see what the hell you killed our son. Like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, really?
There's no coming back.
There ain't no coming back from that, bro. It ain't no forget. It's like, oh, you might well, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Just really being a man. Just work on your part of the divorce, separation, whatever. Just let it be. Whatever spousal support you're gonna have to pay, just get ready. Just deal with it. Just move on. That's all you can do, and just let this shit heal. Prepare your child for his last viewings and all that. Other than that, deal with that. But other than that, man, you already know what time it is because it ain't. That's just me as a man. If that's a fatal mistake, bro. Like that's something you can never get over. I don't care when you get out of the prison. It's still, bro. Is you don't have a son no more. Well, you do, but you don't. You do, but
And
you
you know
don't.
what? Hey, Vibrant. Hey, Love. How you doing, boo? Chill out. Hey, how you doing? I think I spoke to them already, but just in case. You know what, bro? A lot of people here seen this type of stuff coming. Not particularly this situation where a father shoots and kills his own 10-year-old child. But when we went to where we don't have to conceal our weapons anymore, a few months back in July, when that
Mhm.
happened, a lot of people said that it's going to be a lot of people who do not supposed to have a weapon who are now going to be walking around with them more. Now, not to say because everywhere in the world there are
Shit, you
people
can't
who
say
are
you
not
have a
supposed to
weapon.
have everywhere in the world, there are people who are not supposed to have a weapon and they end up being found with a weapon, right? But we knew that that was going to spike. We already have that situation here. I know people personally who ain't supposed to have no gun, like they fellas and they got guns. You know what I'm saying? But we knew it was going to be a spike. Was this a spike in this guy's life? Did he already have the weapon? Did he go out and get the weapon after the law took place? We don't know that right now, but I'm just saying, a lot of people saw like we were going to have problems, like a lot of problems. I don't know why they decided to go this old. Western or down south way where, Omaha no longer, has to conceal their weapons and things like that. But it is what it is now. And it's what this past in July, and it's November. It ain't even been a year, and we got an incident like this. Dude ain't even supposed to have a damn gun. This is what pisses me off, and a lot of people in the community even more. He wasn't supposed to have a gun. Now, wherever they were on Thanksgiving, did these people know that this man, this felon, wasn't supposed to be having a gun? Were they cool with this man, this ex felon, having a gun around children?
Mhm. See, that's
This
the
ex felon.
that's the $1 million questions right there. I say it's a
If
whole lot
my
of
son's father was an ex felon, bro, an ex felon, and he ain't even supposed to have a weapon on him or be around weapons, I think I would feel comfortable enough to have my children around that. Because that's a whole problem within itself. It's not like he has gun rights. It's not like he goes, takes classes and, stuff like that. Like to go to the shooting range, like he has this, legality to do this shit. Like you're not supposed to have this weapon, and then you're around children, and then you're just shooting off. Like you think somebody's stealing your car? What the fuck kind of car was it? That's what I want to know. And like you said, I don't care if it got 36 rims, 56 rims, if it got. I don't know a lot about cars, but you know what I'm saying. If it got a $10,000 sound system in it, a
mm.
$20,000 paint job, I mean, I don't give a damn what kind of car it is. You just shooting to kill over a car, nigga? I'm done. I am so done. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Mm.
Somebody's child will never be seen again, will never be heard from again. Do you know there are so many children grieving at his school, his family, his community? I did put the GoFundMe link in the chat for anybody who feels compelled to donate to Kendrick's GoFundMe. The 10-year-old boy, handsome little boy, he's on our the picture, our thumbnail. It's a picture of his father and a picture of him next to his father on the thumbnail. Handsome little, sweet little boy, 10 years old. He'll never be seen again, held again, touched again. Thanksgiving was his last holiday on earth at the hands of his own father. I don't get it. I don't get it. And you mentioned down south. I'm glad you mentioned that, bro, because you from here. You was raised here with me, in Omaha. But then you moved down south, and where you live right now, it's like, you can walk around with guns, you can carry shotguns, somebody step on your lawn. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is down south.
For sure. But it's there's still no excuse. I mean, even down here, you can't use deadly force just for no reason. Like you just,
Right.
I mean, it has to be if they become a threat, like taking your if they come on your property. I mean, by down here, by right, you can protect your property as well as you could protect equally as your life. But if they like running away from you, getting away from you, you use deadly force. They're gonna hang your ass. You don't get away with just because we got laws that's catered towards the gun owner or the person that protect their property and their life. But if a person is retreating and running away from the city, no, you can't use the same type of force. There's certain rules and things that you got to abide on. No, they're gonna hit you. They're gonna hit you with
Right.
they're gonna hit you with attempted and manslaughter. I mean, if you kill a person, it's manslaughter on up because you not hold on, bro. Like you didn't have to, like if somebody's running away from you, why are you shooting them? Why would you neutral really? I had to neutralize the threat. They was no longer a threat.
Right, and this is a vehicle. It wasn't like they was in the house. It wasn't like okay, it wasn't like you had a baby in the car, even though we ain't supposed to leave kids in the car. But it ain't like you turned around, grabbing your groceries, getting something out the trunk, and the baby's still in the car before you can grab the baby, and somebody jump in your car and trying to drive off. It wasn't nothing like that. He literally just thought somebody was trying to steal his car. And he shot to kill. and killed his own 10-year-old son. I just can't comprehend it. I see no reasoning why it just shouldn't have happened. It
Well,
really shouldn't have happened. And Charlie said in her state it's open carry. You don't have to have a permit, but you must be legal to own it. Yep, that's how it is. Up here, actually up here they changed the law, bro. They changed the law back in July where you don't have to have a license. You don't have to have a permit. You don't have to have a concealed weapon. The only thing is you just can't be a felon or be somebody who ain't supposed to have one. That's the
right.
only thing. That's how they changed it up here. Before July of this year, it was where we are not supposed to be able to walk around with a concealed weapon unless we had a concealed license. But they changed that. So now we can just have concealed weapons and we don't need a license. You don't need a license to carry or nothing up here anymore. And a lot of people were against it. And they said that things were going about to be spiraling out of control. And look, not even a year later, and already somebody that killed their own child, and he ain't even supposed to have a gun. Walking around with a concealed weapon and ain't even supposed to have a gun. And we expected this type of things to happen because it's more easier now. Niggas who ain't supposed to have a gun, they like, well, shit, everybody can walk around with a gun now. Everybody, it's just normal now.
But it ain't normal if you ain't got the. It's like I mean, it's not hard to operate a firearm, but you gotta know what you're doing, when to do it, and how to do it, and you might well play by the rules because it's not fair for the other millions of people around the world that has to abide by rules, regulations,
Exactly.
follow. So I mean, it's just common, it's just respect. That's all.
It's common sense and respect. Hey, Colette, how you doing, boo? It's common sense, bro. Like if you're not supposed to have a weapon, if you an ex felon, what could possess you? Okay, let me say this: if you a convicted felon and you ain't supposed to have a gun, and somebody's attacking you, attacking your child, attacking your mama, trying to assault your babies, something like that, and you like fuck that shit, I'm grabbing this gun over here, and I'm going for mine. But it was a car, a piece of metal that can
Right?
be replaced. And you
Yeah.
just shot to kill and you killed your 10-year-old son. I don't get it. I don't get it.
That nigga retarded.
I would, oh, if that was my son's father, oh, Ooh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah,
Lord Jesus. Lord
it's a lot
Jesus,
of
help him.
repercussions.
Help him.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of repercussions and consequences behind what his ordeal because still, I mean, it's like you're not gonna get no respect for that. Like you not, I mean, whatever you was trying to prove to thinking that you can protect something and whatever you got, they about to take that and use that as collateral, to donate to your child's final, services.
Yeah, and Karma Diva said, and I've said before, they don't just touch one person. It's a ripple effect touching many people.
And,
Yep.
and they're not gonna even most likely let you even go to the fight his because you could be a high risk.
I don't think I would let my son's father come to the funeral if that was my
No, I'm
son.
just saying. I know they
Oh, if that I wouldn't.
within visiting. No, it would be a private. It wouldn't be nobody. They wouldn't let you. No, nobody else would be able to be around, but the um no, not even that.
Yep.
Not in that
Yep.
situation with him, but it would be there. His rights would be the immediate family, but most likely because of that tension, no, it would have to like the judge would basically make it. It's just him. Yeah, it's just him and the funeral director. That's it. And the
Mm.
law. That's it. It wouldn't be. He wouldn't. And they'd probably give him so much time to grieve, do what he got to do, whatever, and then it's a wrap. Take his ass on out the side, and he going on back to
He
where
can
he been
grieve
at.
in jail. Shoot, he can grieve under that motherfucker. I'm telling you, boy, if
I
that
just
was
say
my
that's what they
son,
would
I'd be
do.
so like don't bring him anywhere near the church, anywhere near the funeral home. Don't bring him anywhere because I will lay hands. They be tearing me back down to the jail with his ass.
Oh, he ain't in jail.
Like
He's in
seriously.
the country.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
This is second. This is second. This is second fail. He ain't. That's not looking good on him. So he gonna do some
Child.
time. No, he gonna do some time just because of that. This is second. This is second strike. He gonna
Right.
go sit that down. He gonna sit down for a while. He gonna do He gonna do maximum. He gonna do mandatory maximum
Mm-hmm.
manslaughter time. He's gonna do that because of that. That possession, that felon in possession of a firearm, second offense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna read a post that I saw on Facebook. There's a lot of people in Omaha, right here where we're from. Let me make sure this is sis before I put her on the thingamajigger. The thingama. Ooh, wrong pig. Let me just do this one. Okay.
It's
Hey
me.
sis. Okay,
It's
little
me.
skate. All
I wasn't
right.
invited to the party. I just invited
Uh,
myself.
girl, what you mean? I put the link in our group chat. What you talking about?
You know, I'll be asleep.
I know, I know. Well, let me read this post real quick and then I'm gonna let you guys comment again. And y'all, again, there's a GoFundMe link in the chat. If anybody feels compelled, this is not my family member, but this is a 10-year-old boy from our city of Omaha, Nebraska, who was killed by his father on Thanksgiving, all because he thought somebody was breaking into his car and trying to steal his car. And so he shot to kill. And it was his own son by his car. Anyway, so I'm gonna read this post on Facebook. I ain't gonna say the lady's name, but she said, "I am so sick of turning on the news and seeing another baby kid in North Omaha shot. When will it stop? I grew up in North O, and it was always a great area and safe. People looked out for each other like family, so what's changed? People killing their own families, etc. is so sad to see. As I get older, I see how horrible things have become in an area I love so much. And it makes me so sad and mad. I'm tired from all of it. A 10-year-old did not wake up today. He will never grow up to be a man. And on Thanksgiving, why? Damn, I am so pissed off and sad. No child deserves that, especially by people you trust the most. Wake up, people, before more kids die. Sad day today. Rest in peace, Kendrick McDonald. You deserve so much better than what you got. May your young soul rest in peace." And before anybody say anything, this post was made by a white lady who said she grew up in North Omaha and it was always a great area and safe. Now, what does that comment right there mean to you, bro? Because we grew up in North Omaha. And this white lady is saying it was always a great area and safe.
Well, honestly, she's not really lying because this is from experience. You talking to somebody that got,
Hmm.
I got status. So the point is that
Right.
she's not lying when it really comes to that. Because before the infiltration of the outsiders looking in, gangs included, I'm talking about the outside. I ain't talking about the internal. I'm talking about the outsiders that influence. Everything else, probably from the mid 80s on up, is when all hell broke loose. Families was broken. They started planning and putting that's when they split the 480, 680 interchange and put Storage Expressway to run folks from West Omaha connecting corridor all the way
Hmm.
down to the airport in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. So when you
Yeah.
did that, you divided. Really, you split. Ernie Chambers fought against that. I remember that, but you basically split. Really,
It
North
was
Omaha.
definitely a purpose. It was definitely a purpose. And I was wondering, I mean, I don't know the lady personally, but I was just wondering what
Uh,
time frame was she referring to?
like, well, I
Um,
mean, any of that. To make a long story short, so she's not really lying because I can remember honestly through, and that's any neighborhood. Before it became a hood set, whatever the fuck. However, there were certain places, most
I'm
especially in
thinking like
North.
she gotta be talking about like the 70s though. I'm like, how far
No,
back we
the
going
80s was
here,
cool too, especially
bro?
during the Stone Soul picnic. I mean, it was
I
all
don't
we
know,
always
because it
had.
got pretty bad around like the late 80s and
That's what I'm
on.
saying though, sis. But but if that's what she's probably talking about, like prior to when I said before the outsiders came looking in, when colors hit the scene in
That,
in
yeah.
Omaha, it was a wrap. It's
that's what I
me.
was
It's
saying. I
me.
was like, I was just thinking, I wonder what decade or
He was talking about pre
what time
eighties. She
frame.
probably talking
It
about
has to
pre
be pre
86,
80s, yeah.
87. No, it's like pre
And if
86,
she's talking about
87.
pre 80s, I can honestly say I'm a set 70s baby, and I can honestly say in the 70s it was pretty safe here because I remember walking. Remember how I told y'all I walked from Pleasant View West, 30th and Park and across from the gym, the projects. I had to walk from there all the way to Howard Kennedy.
Right.
And for a 5-year-old, that's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
pretty
yeah,
long walk.
we didn't have
Yeah.
all that. You got to remember the interstate cut off on Lake.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was the extension because it really cut off on Hamilton, but it cut that extent that if you wanted to get off closer to the dudes, instead of getting off on Hamilton, you had to get off on Lake. And that's when they
Hmm.
was 2 lanes. They wasn't all wide like they is now. The little raglan bridge we had, them little raglan bridges we had, they was actually 2 lanes. Every
Hmm.
last one
Hmm.
of them bridges, the Hamilton, the Lake Street, because
You're
remember
right,
that,
Carmel Diva. In certain pockets, North Omaha was safer in certain areas
yeah,
in the
like certain
80s
areas
and
it was
90s.
actually yeah,
Certain areas.
because you gotta think, you gotta think North O is east of 72nd. See what I'm saying? It's east of 72nd and it's west of
And for all I know, she could have stayed way down in Forest Lawn.
right.
She could have stayed up there by
And it's west of 16th.
Emmanuel Hospital, like 60th Street.
Nah, she's already that's what
She
I'm
could have
saying because
stayed
it goes
by,
to
yeah. But
that's
it goes
North
to
Omaha.
72nd. Yeah.
It's east of 72nd, west of 16th, but it's north of Cummins. That's your cutoff.
Hmm.
Even though we got Benson, that's still North fucking Omaha. It's just Benson, their own little neighborhood.
Right.
That's
It could have
where
been
it's
Benson.
from. Ooh.
It could have been Forest Lawn. It could have been,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
she could have
far
grew up
north.
in any of those areas, but for the most part, I think we are safer now than we were in the 80s and 90s. And that's
I'll
just what I
say,
believe. I was just
well,
talking to my sister today, and she's thinking about moving, to a different state to the East Coast. And we was literally talking about today all the crimes, all the people that we knew that was murdered, all the gangs, we was literally discussing that earlier today in the 80s and 90s in our neck of the woods where it was nothing to have drive-bys and nothing to see somebody or wake up in the
oh,
morning and your homeboy is dead.
yeah,
Like it
actually.
was nothing. So that's why when I read her comment, I'm thinking, well, I wonder what era she was referring to and where in the city she lived. Because I just don't think that it was safer then than it is now. I don't. Like my kids now, for them to walk around and when they were in high school, walk around and walk to the stores and all that stuff, I would have been more skeptical back in the day to just be like, oh yeah, just go over, yeah, no, you call me when you get there. You make sure, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a lot of shit going on back then. Like, you walk out the house, you get jumped, you get shot. I mean, it was just a lot of different things going on back then. Not every day, not all the time, but I think Omaha's a lot safer these days because it was just like flooded with drugs and gangs and stuff like that in the 80s and 90s. So I don't know when I hear people compare this time frame to that era and say it was safer back then than it is now. I'm like, nah. Omaha's a lot safer these days. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Karma Diva, you can say how you feel. We all from the hood. So we all grew up in the hood. So I know if she got something to say, she'll say it. But that's just how I feel. I feel we are a lot safer these days. Then I mean, we don't wake up every day and there's a murder. I mean, it was like so bad. We used to be on the national news. We used to have like the biggest newscasters coming here to interview people in the hood. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but that's my opinion. That's her opinion. That's my opinion. But it is what it is. I don't know. Maybe it was just real ghetto where I lived. We was on the deuce phone, bro. We was on the deuce phone.
And
North
we don't have a
Omaha
problem
Rovers,
with
period.
that.
We was in Flatlands, so hey,
It's
but I
Rovers.
also hung up in
Everywhere
other
was Rovers.
areas.
You had certain
Yeah, I
areas that
hung.
were Rovers, period.
Yeah, I hung up in but I hung out in Hilltop. I mean Vietnam. Everybody hung in Vietnam. We hung up in the yachts in my yacht. So it was yeah. I guess it just depends on where you live, child. Because if you live like okay, they even consider what should we call it North Omaha. Remember all those nice apartments that they built, those nice homes they built off of 52nd Street. Remember all the black people thought they was bougie and shit when they built
Yeah.
them homes.
You
What's
talking
the
about the
name of that
Spanish type
area?
houses? You talking about
No,
over there in the
no.
Benson?
No, off of Sorensen, off of 56 and Sorensen. All them nice homes
Right.
they built over there.
Talking about over there up the street around from the Mayas. That was over there. That was I can't remember the name of that area.
But it
They
was
called
real
that.
bougie homes and bougie black people, all the doctors and the lawyers and the nurses and all them moved up
You
there.
talking about over there off of Sorensen, off of 50s. You talking about
Yeah,
on the
off of
house. You talking about
56.
on the
Yes.
outside.
Yes, yes, yes. You turn right. Remember Pastor Barlow, he got a house down there.
You talking about Raven Oaks?
Raven Oaks. There you go. That even was North Omaha. So if you lived in Raven Oaks, you probably was like, oh yeah, it's really safe here. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it just depends on, where this particular
Well,
person lived. You know.
Raven Oaks didn't have no niggas like that if they was not military back in those days.
Now I will say this. I will say this. A lot of people was it's Raven Oaks, Karma Diva. She was close, but she knew what we was talking about. I will say this: the guy that I was dating, before he got locked up for 14 years for selling dope, his family lived there, and he lived there. But he always hung down on the Deuce, down on Deuce Fort with us. So he was a hood nigga with some bougie parents. So just because your family lived, in a bougie area, don't
Yeah.
mean that
I mean,
somebody
you
in that
told me.
motherfucker ain't just as ghetto as ratchet. Because that nigga was just as ghetto and ratchet.
How you gonna
And
be?
we would sneak into his mama house. She'd be like, "Who you got down in my house, man?" He running down the hills in Raven Oaks trying to get away from his mama. But man, we used to have some good times back then. But yeah, his
That's when it was
family
more wood. That's
still
when it was
lives
more
there.
wood.
It was more wooded. Yep, it's a lot of wooded area over there. A lot of
I mean,
deer
'cause
and
over that, you gotta remember over that area, it used to be like a 1 or 2 car lane in the
it's
Raven.
a
I
two.
mean,
It's still a two-car lane. It's still a
yeah,
two.
like
It's
and then
still
you
yeah.
didn't know, and then you gotta think we didn't have all the cameras and the
We didn't
newer
have none of
smart
that
lights. We
shit,
didn't have all that. I mean, it was
but
more
it was
peaceful. You
pretty
could
safe
tell
there. It was
it was
pretty safe
peaceful.
there.
It
I
was
could go when
peaceful.
we used to go through Raven Oaks, like
It was peaceful.
all the lawns was manicured and the houses was.
The
I mean,
holidays lit up.
the
Uh,
holiday, everybody's house decorated. Like then you go a few blocks away and you back in the hood. So it was like
yeah, listen.
Karma Diva is right. It's certain pockets that and I have to think that way when I read this lady's post because where I grew up and how I grew up I won't say it was the safest, and I can't say it was the worst, but you did have to always be on your P's and Q's.
I know
You know what
Brian
I
Parker,
mean?
it was safe. You was good. If you was in my neighborhood, we ain't having all that. My shit was quarantined. You not coming in nowhere, nowhere. It was
Oh
one
my
way
God,
in,
one way in, one way
one
out.
way out. We not having that. We knew exactly who. I guarantee by the time you made that circle and that loop, we know who your
Hmm.
mama
But
is,
it
your
was a lot of shit
daddy is.
that popped off there in my eye
Oh
too.
yeah, it went
Shit.
down. It went down. Don't get it twisted. It went
Shit, you
down.
could
I
get
mean,
fucked all the way up in my
yeah,
eye.
it went down. Especially you had a lot of outsiders trying to bowl their way in. It wasn't
Shit.
that
I
kind
used to
of
stay
party
up
like that,
there.
man.
I used to stay up there with my homegirl Shani. You know Shani?
Sound familiar?
Shani and Gino?
I believe
They
so.
down, the
I
flatlands.
was there from
But
I was there from
yeah,
81 to 96,
I used to
82,
stay with
96.
Shani. That was around the time where I was my homeless area, my homeless era. And Shawnee was one of the people I stayed with, and I used to sleep on her couch at my yacht. And man, it was something ghetto. It was something ghetto up there. Now, when my yacht was first built,
Yeah, that was back in the
First
70s.
built. When it
Yeah,
was
no,
first built, that was like some bougie little black area, but just like every other nice neighborhood that they build and create
we got to take
for
it
us,
over.
just like all the scatter sites, all the the OHA housings
Yeah,
and
I remember when they
everything. It's
started
like soon as
building
the
them.
black people get in them, oh
Like on the
shit,
side of Wakanda. I remember they started building them on the side of Wakanda because my boy, rest his soul, D1, Daryl Roddy, they
yeah,
built
right off
Mama
of
Roddy.
Curtis,
Mama
yep,
Roddy house was one of the first houses built right on the corner across the street from Wakanda Elementary. Literally.
right on Curtis, yeah.
I was
And
like, yeah,
right the
man.
block away, you like when I drive down Curtis Street to this day, and I look over when I'm driving like down towards the east, and Wakanda's on my right, and the way to get to my yacht to the yachts was on my left. I always look at that side street and reminisce
For sure. Because
because this was
Big
the
Ben used to
maid to
own
my
all that.
yacht. This was the maid to my yacht. We would
Yeah,
walk
it's
there,
the yachts, man.
and we didn't have cars back then, so we always walked all the way to Maya. So it's like, okay, this was the street to take you to Maya. But yeah,
Yeah,
Cislo,
like,
it's just a
Yeah,
tragic time right now for our community right now, and a lot of
yeah, I saw
people
that.
is just not understanding
I
like
saw that.
what would
Oh,
make Cislo. We just trying to process this in our city, like what would make somebody who is a felon and not supposed to have a gun see somebody think they breaking into his shit and he shoot to kill and you ain't even supposed to have a gun and we talking about a piece of metal. A piece
yeah,
of metal and then it turns
somebody,
out it's your 10-year-old son that you done killed. Like it's
it's
crazy.
it's dramatic, but of course you would think the first thing that you come to mind is you think this is a person that doesn't think. For him to be a felon, first of all, with a weapon is illegal, so he doesn't care about going back to jail. And to just go out and without really fully investigating, say, hey, stop, I'll shoot, or any kind of warning. I'm pretty sure his son would say, Dad is me, or something to that
Exactly.
effect.
Hmm.
But, obviously, it's a person who did not think, you know, prior to firing off or what have you. And it is very unfortunate. And, this is where those people that are opposed to the Black Lives Matters movement are opposed to the Black Lives Matter movement because they want you to first say that we matter to ourselves, not just for other people from the outside looking in. We want to, make a statement. Black lives have to matter to all of us. I am pro Black Lives Matter, but I am just saying that, we have to care about one another. And 9 times out of 10, in predominantly African American populated neighborhood, you would think that the first thing you would think is that it's probably a black kid out here, a black person out here. So you shooting one of your own over what? Was it a Bentley or something, or what is it? Is what my
That's what
mother
I
called.
want to know. Like what
My
kind of
mother
car
called
was
a
it?
Bentley. My mama would call a hood Bentley, which is one that's bent everywhere. You know,
Girl, did
or
you
a
see what Karma
Bentley.
Diva said though? Hold
I
on, let me
didn't.
highlight. Let me highlight what Karma Diva said. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her comment.
I don't care if he had a trunk full of product that he was protecting. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? It's like he still should have, yield some type of warning before
Right.
just
I mean,
firing
but
it.
but I have to think about her comment though because I guess so many people is trying to decipher what could have made you shoot to kill over a car.
So many
Over
people.
a
I've
car.
seen people
Like,
shoot out
what
of
was it about this
top floor
car?
windows. I've seen people shoot out of top floor windows over cars. I've seen people shoot in crowded parking lots over a vehicle. I've seen well, one we had one situation here that was a man went on trial, but that situation was a little different in Redford, where a black girl had been in a car accident, and she was a little, you know, incoherent from head injury, and she just went up to the first door that she saw and she knocked on it, and the guy just shot through the door and killed her. I mean, he just shot through the screen, just shot through and killed her, blew her back. And but of course he was convicted of murder because they were like, okay, that's not good enough reason to shoot because somebody knocked on your door. And it showed that she had a car wreck a block away. But at any rate, you know there are a lot of people. But what goes in the minds of people? You know, is it that in mentality that they are invincible? Like I'm bad. I can do what I want to do. I protect mine, or like T.I.'s son said last night. I stand on business. I stand on business. So could they have been standing on business, But I'm pretty sure that if he had any love or type of relationship for his son, that he's got to be hurting just as much as anybody else, because I'm pretty sure even though it was an ignorant move and it was not a smart one at all, not an educated move, not even for a street criminal or
Right. It's
felon.
not even an educate like you a felon,
Yeah.
and your senses, your common sense just say I'm a felon. I can't just shoot to kill, not over no car. Like, I mean, come on, like what the hell was this dude? He had to be on some shit. Cislo, I don't know.
What did he have a gun for? What was he needing to be protected from? Because normally people that carry guns or have a gun at their leisure and is quick to use it feel the need to be protected from something, or they feel a sense of power, a sense of authority and power, like they are in control of something. And why didn't you know where your baby was? What
Right,
was
and it
up
was
with that?
11:30 at night. It was 11:30 at night, and Carmel Diva
And
did say
why is
earlier
a
in the chat.
10-year-old boy not in the house? Why weren't they accounted for? See, there are
Hmm.
so many ways you can go with that. But like I said, if he had any concern or compassion or love for his son, I'm pretty sure that he himself is
Right.
suffering a devastating loss. And I'm pretty sure that he's sitting behind bars and he probably hasn't started sharing tears at this point because, now
Child, he
I've
looked like he
seen
wanted to kill again. If you look at the damn mug shot, did you
they
see
all
the mug
do. They
shot?
all do. They all do. You ever
And you
seen
know
anybody
what?
in a mugshot? Very few people smile in a mugshot.
But child, if I kill myself, I don't know. I'll be up there. I'll be passing out. They be trying to hold me up. Bitch, stand still and take this damn picture. No! I mean, child, they have to sedate me just to get me a damn mug shot. If I had shot my child like that. But Charlie said, yeah, why wasn't he in bed? Now, the only thing that I can think of, on Thanksgiving night, at my crib, we was deep. I mean, we had family from in town, family out of town. We
Yep.
was deep. It was like standing
Yep.
room down there only. We had people from the basement, outside, whatever. Um, and when it was time to go, a lot of people left around 11, 12, midnight, and we had kids here. And so there were kids outside. There were kids walking to the car. There was kids walking around outside the house. So I don't know if it because it was the holiday. Maybe the boy was maybe he could have been outside with his siblings. He could have been outside with his friends. He could have been. I don't know why. So I don't really want to speculate that because it was a holiday. And like I said, we have people coming and going out of our house all the way to like 1 in the morning, kids included. So I don't know. It's just so many unanswered. I don't know. But Karma Diva said he obviously is living that street life. That's why he had a gun. Don't make it right though. And you right, because like I said earlier, I do know ex-felons who ain't supposed to have weapons and they got them. They got
Well,
them.
could he have been? Could it be that he was also intoxicated? Was
That
he
could have been the
intoxicated?
case.
Could have been
That
intoxicated, out of his
yeah.
mind, and not made a good judgment call.
That could have been the case, but then check it out, sis Lo and bro. Even if he was intoxicated, where was my question is where was everybody else? Did he just run out the house? Get away from my girl Bell. You know, like where was everybody else? It's Thanksgiving. Was there other grown-ups around? Was there other children around? Was there
No,
nobody around?
I'm talking about
Like
I'm talking about the shooter.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the
well,
shooter. Like, okay, I got a strap. I got a whole gun, right? And if I was to just go outside with my pistol, trust and believe everybody in that motherfucker gonna know. Tanya got her shit. Something about to go down. Like, like what led up to this? Like, where was everybody else? That's what I'm thinking. Like I'm just not gonna go outside with a gun. Pow! Get away from my car.
yeah,
Like
just
it don't even work like that shit. With my family and shit, even my homegirls, when we think something about the pot, they be like, bitch, you got your shit? Yeah, I got mine. You got yours? Yeah, I got mine. Like, that's how,
and
even
see
my
now,
cousin, Tanya, you got your shit? I ain't got mine. Do you got yours? Like you have
yeah.
those like conversations when you think something about to pop off. So I'm like, did this nigga just look out the window and see somebody by his car, just run outside, pow, and just shoot his son? Like it's crazy.
Now, Detroit has this shot spotter. So if
Yeah,
gunshots
we've
go
been having
off,
one of those since the 90s. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, they have the shot. Well, listen, they didn't always want to pay for that. Places like your area would have it, but they wouldn't always want to, pay for anything like that over. But since they got it here now, it comes right exactly where the shots
It's
rang.
precise. It's
Also,
precise. Yes. Mhm.
yeah, and so you'll know exactly what happened. When we also have um what's called the green light system, which there are certain businesses that pay into a security system that goes directly, that's monitored directly by the police stations. So if any crime happens within the radius of these surveillance cameras, it's picked up on those green light cameras, and so they are able to see what's going on around that's something that I think Baltimore had for a while. But I think Baltimore has that in certain areas. They have that ability to have something, but theirs is something like we've upgraded to, which is now in some of the street lights, those new street lights that they are replacing the old big bulb lights with these little thin lights. Some of those have cameras in them, so they are also able to survey the neighborhoods. And so I'm wondering if they have something like that on some of the surrounding areas where the baby was shot, to be able to go back and look at that footage to see, how it went down on the outside of the house. Now, only I guess by interviewing the people that were in the house will they find out, did somebody try to stop him? Was there an argument? What, did he get hyped up? Was he trying to show off and that type of thing before, did somebody try to stop him from coming out? And, did anybody call for the
Yeah.
kids first and say, let me make sure it's one of the kids, or did the dog get loose? Or, before you just start shooting at, maybe it
Well,
could have been.
I know where it happened was off of 31st and Myrtle, and that's like a side street. Um, If there were any cameras, it would definitely be from people Ring cameras or people
Yeah.
house cameras because that's just the we don't really have like none of that like in the hood. Now maybe in the more business district areas we might have people who might have security cameras that the police, monitor or something like that. But yeah, we do got the shot spotter. We've been having that for ages. When did we get that, bro? We've been having that since like the 90s, right? Or the early 2000s.
What spot?
The shot spotter,
The shot
as
spotter.
soon as they hear,
Oh
as
yeah,
soon
I
as
didn't.
the,
Charlie Morgan stinking ass put that up in
yeah, we've
there.
been having that forever. And that's one reason why a lot of times when people hear guns go off, sometimes people still call the cops, but sometimes people just be like, oh, the cops will be here. And literally they'll be there within minutes because of the shot spotter.
Mhm.
But we got them all through our city. We've been having them for a long time. Back when it was really like violent time frame, in our city, that's when we got them. And we've been having them ever since. And like you said, they're very precise. They're really precise. And they could tell the difference between like even if it's like the 4th of July and
The
everybody's popping off
firecracker actually
firecrackers,
does
they can tell
something.
the difference between firecrackers and an actual gunshot. They're really precise.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they said something around the 4th of July, how people, you know, try to, use the fireworks as a distraction to, you know, to fire off weapons and things like that, thinking that they could
Yep.
commit crimes. But
Yep.
they are those things are sensitive, and they're able to tell where the shots came from and things like
Hmm.
that. But it can the noise from the fireworks could distract the onlookers or
Hmm.
the citizens,
Yeah, it
but
can distract like the witnesses or
not
people who might have could have been
but
witnesses. Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, or not, but not the technology. It's like they
Right.
get distracted, not being able to differentiate which one is which. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yep, you're right about that.
So,
And
but
Karma
I am
Diva said
so
we kind of
saddened
had that
about
kind of
this.
system.
Yeah, I'm so
Uh,
sad that this happened to this baby.
It's so sad. And when you see his little face and his little, I hate to be like, I know some people like, oh, well, it don't matter what people look like. But sometimes when you see somebody, you just be like, oh, they just look so innocent. They just look so, you know, friendly and nice and sweet. And I mean, that little boy just, when you look at his picture on my thumbnail, you just look at him and like, it's like,
Mhm.
why? Just why? And that's a lot of questions that our community have that need to be answered. And a lot of those questions we asked tonight. Like, why did he have a gun? The people around him, did they know he had a gun? Like, did he give any kind of warning? Like, obviously not, because I would think, like, if my sons was by my car and I said, hey, get away from my car, my sons are like, Mom, what you doing? It's
Mhm.
me, Mom. Put that shit away, Mom.
Right.
And on top of that, like, some people ask, why was the child out there 11:30 at night? All this is going to be a
Mhm.
lot of these questions will be answered, and we will stay on this because this is some local news, this is some hood news, this is some tragic news, unfortunately. But yeah, the hood table will be keeping our ears to the streets on this story, and keeping you guys updated. And you never know, your girl might find her way down to the courthouse with Karma Diva. We be on it with the local news, right? We be down there at the courthouse, we be down there filming. So, we might just do that, for you guys. But what else? What else, you guys? What else? What else? As far as other topics that we want to discuss tonight, there was that situation at South High School. My bro hit me up so quick, so slow, because that's my alumni, and
I
people
didn't hear
start. Yeah, I used to go to South High School right here in
Oh,
Omaha,
yes, I
Nebraska. That's where
did.
I graduated from. South High Packers. We was packing and macking, packing and mac. Nah, they called us the Packers because we was in South Omaha and it was nothing over there but packing plants, and they stunk. They stunk to high heavens. But anyway, today a lot of people went live. Even bro, was that your family member or was that your family friend or somebody who had went live. A lot of people went live because
Was it
something had went
Rashida?
down.
Good close
Mhm.
friend, family.
Go ahead.
No, you good.
D-
Close friend of
Don't
family.
be booing. Hold up. First of all, Carmel Diva, don't be booing South High with your little husky ass. Little husky.
Wow.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
went to
you
she
know
went
they
to
bogus.
Northwest Husky.
Now, watch your
Northwest,
mouth
they
now.
horrible.
Don't say nothing about
Northwest Husky. Our bull will kick y'all dogs and the sled all the way down the hill. Okay.
mouth. Watch the
But
mouth.
Fun to
no, for real. Y'all know we just kidding. We just kidding. But
I'm talking fold. We don't fold, so y'all know what it is.
exactly. But we was bro had hit me up. He had posted something in our group chat, and also I had saw on Facebook. A lot of people was going live earlier, reporting on an incident at South High School. We thought there was a shooting.
Right. I heard
Thank
about that
God it
too.
wasn't.
Huh.
Thank God it wasn't. It was a hoax. And I'm gonna play this little audio for you guys because I don't have kids in high school anymore, but things like that is always scary. Whether you have kids in high school or whether you live in the neighborhood or what. So when you hear that they might be some shooting at a school, the first I mean, how many mass shootings have we had at schools before in the past? So that is nothing to play with. That is nothing to
Hmm.
take lightly. So whoever did this today in our city at South High School, definitely they need to be handled, like for real, because they had the whole community like in an uproar. And I'm gonna play this footage for you guys real quick. Well, actually, this audio. Sorry.
Reports of a shooting at South High School, a hoax.
KETV News Watch 7's been at the scene since just after the call came out around 2 o'clock. We have live team coverage of the call and response from Omaha police.
Abby Peterson's at the football stadium where families are reuniting with students. First, Quinicia Fraser joins us live with what we're learning of the latest. Quinicia.
Well, Julie, I can tell you that the scene looks a lot different than it did when we first got here. Now, 24th and J has opened back up. You can see cars are here. But when we first got here, before we knew it was a hoax, there were a lot of first responders, police cruisers, EMS, firefighters, officers with long guns we saw running in. Now, we have learned again that this is a hoax and that the swatting call was made to the Omaha Police Department front desk. Police still don't know where it came from, who made the call, but like I said, a lot of people responded. City, state, and federal agents responded. Even unmarked federal agents were here. Omaha Police says that a school resource officer did a sweep of the school and found no victim inside, but parents who didn't know what was going on out here I talked to were very worried, crying, as you can imagine, just worried about their kids inside because they didn't know that it was a hoax, according to police.
We do believe this was a hoax, a swatting call where someone called in and initiated a police response and fire response. We want people to call. We want to show up. We want to do our job and make sure that everyone's safe. And when we show up, it's actually a relief rather than frustration. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want any lives lost, and we surely don't want to show up to an incident where something actually did happen. It actually goes into good training where we're able to search a building and do what we normally do in these types of situations. And if there was an active shooter, it's good to get the officers and firefighters and everybody that responds to these types of incidents or would respond to an actual incident, get them the reps that they need to do what they need to do.
Again, no shots were fired today. No one was hurt, but a widespread response and a lot of panic. Reporting live in South Omaha, Quinicia Fraser, Kate.
Now let me tell y'all one thing. When I first heard this, bro had put that in our chat, and I had seen it all over Facebook, and it was on the news. Active shooter, possible shooter at South High School. They was talking about somebody got taken away in an ambulance, all kind of stuff. So what I did, I was oh shoot, somebody just sent me some ooh, somebody just sent me some tea. Hold up on the story we was just talking about, but I'm gonna read that in a minute later. Uh my bro must be watching me right now. Hey bro, hi bro. My baby bro must be watching me. Okay, so yeah, I had hit somebody up that is a community, activist And I hit him up and I said, what's up? What's going on? Is it real? And he said, I said, is it real or is it a hoax at South High School? Because we were hearing different things. And is my sound messed up, y'all? Do I need to go out and come back
No,
in?
you're fine. You're
Oh,
fine.
okay.
You
Okay.
good?
And so I said, is it real or is it a hoax? And he said he just got word from a reporter, Kel Cersei, saying it sounds like a hoax. However, the police won't confirm. That was before the police confirmed. And then they hit me back and said, yeah, they confirmed it was a swatting. And so I said, thank you. I said, because I want to make sure that, and if y'all know me pretty well, Karma Diva will tell you, she in the chat, or one of our beautiful co-hosts, Sis and Bro might tell you, when I hear shit, sometimes I sit back and I marinate on it before I do a live or discuss it because I want to make sure I got the facts. And so yes, earlier today at my alumni at South High, I don't know what the hell they trying to do up here in Omaha. Like y'all doing too much. Y'all putting us on the map for the wrong motherfucking reasons. First, I mean, and then okay, I ain't even gonna get back to talking about our boy Terrence Crawford, who they took the belt from. But anyway, there was no active shooter like a lot of parents and a lot of people in our city thought at South High today. Somebody called in a hoax and they caused a swatting at South High. And what I can appreciate is that everybody, federal, public, insiders, outsiders, everybody came to aid.
And you know, when they find out, and they will find out who made that call, whether they are a minor or an adult, they can be brought up on the charges. That especially with the federal agents and that been called in, they can not only be charged at a state level but at a federal level. That takes so much manpower to call all of these entities, especially when you have gotten the support of your surrounding communities. Just think of all that manpower gone to this false call. What if something traumatic had happened in another part of your city? Then they are all off doing something for naught when they could be off helping something that really, if a natural disaster or something like that was to happen. And what these kids don't understand is they can be brought up on charges as well. It does not matter how old you are, you making those calls, you can still be charged. And they need to know that because a lot of the kids were doing stuff like that with the bomb scares and all this kind of stuff, were calling in bomb threats because they didn't want to go to school and all that. Ever since 9/11, they are not playing with things like that anymore. And that's just terrible. And it makes mockery of all the innocent people who have died in all of these school shootings and stabbings and things like the young man that lost his life fighting with those kids in Las Vegas or what have you. All of these situations, it's not good. So when there's a situation that they should be attending to, you don't want to make them drag their feet because they think it's another lost cause. Of course, the professionals are going to respond anyway. They always do. And I don't know, like, and there are certain areas, even here in Michigan, when you could call the police or if you call the emergency ambulance or something like that, the fire department and police come to escort them. They don't come alone. So that's three different departments that are responding for what? For nothing.
Child, it
So
was more than three. I know I probably
yeah, I
I ain't
said the
gonna. It
surrounding
was a lot.
area.
I'm like, sis, low. Everybody came out, and that is something I can appreciate because we all remember what happened down in Texas. What was that? A year or so ago? A couple of years ago, when all those police came down there, and all they did was stand outside and in the hallways,
Are you talking
and
about
all
down
those.
Quality. That was about a year or two ago.
Yeah, and all those people
Um,
got that was such I just
ain't happening none on my watch. Sorry, somebody getting popped. I the hell with that.
man, I'm telling you, I'm telling you,
It's gonna
I'm
be
telling
loud.
you.
It's gonna be loud.
If I was a police officer, man, I'm running in there like like, but you know what? That set a precedence um for certain behavior, certain ways that people should react when it comes to those, mass shootings, especially at schools with innocent little children. That was the first time really that something happened like that, where the police officers kind of just like stood around like shit. Are you scared? Are you not getting paid enough? Like, why are you here if you're not going to go in and and address the shooter or come back with the
And be
shooter?
told to
But
stand down.
yeah, go toe to toe, gun to gun. That's what you train. That's what you should be doing. So I am appreciative. And hold on one second. Hey, bro, if you can hear me, you can turn your camera off if you don't want your camera on, or you can be on camera. It's up to you.
Oh, I ain't on camera.
Oh no, I'm telling my bro.
All right.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Good, man. It's chilling, man. Just got off work not too long ago.
That's good. That's good. I was just talking about we was talking about McDonald, the guy, and then I had saw that you had sent me a message. I was like, oh shoot, hold up, I got a little tea on this. And I was like, well, if you want to hit the link and discuss it with us, please let me know. But what you had said was, and this is my bro, y'all. This is my little baby bro on the panel. But he had said, excuse me. He said that you used to work with this guy. So you used to work with Mr. McDonald. His name is Will, right?
Yep.
The guy who shot his son on Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
So how long did you work with him? And I'm not gonna say the job. I'm not gonna put that out there, so we don't have to say that. But how long did you work with him?
Probably say about like 6 months, almost seven.
6 months, almost seven. Okay. Charlie in the chat said, "Hey, little bro." um. So, what can you tell us about Will, or what you remember about him? Because we're just the whole entire United States, bro. This I don't know if you know how big this story is, but it's like trending. Like the biggest of bloggers and YouTubers and news stations and everybody is discussing this right now. And like we're trying to understand and comprehend. Like maybe you could like just give us your opinion as well. Why do you think somebody would go outside, somebody who is a felon, who ain't even supposed to have a gun, will go outside and see somebody next to their car and think they stealing it? You ain't even supposed to have a gun, but you're gonna shoot to kill anyway, without no warning, without saying, hey there, who are you? Nothing. And end up shooting their son. Like when you hear that story and you think about this man that you work with, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Man, when I first got news of it, I just didn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Like I don't even know. Like it's hard to explain because uh, he gave me a ride home from work one day, and I think the same son he had with him just like a couple years ago. He was with him that night, and they seemed cool though. So I don't know. The only thing, my thing is, like, man, you had to been drunk or something. Like, people chilling, kicking on Thanksgiving. Like, man, you gotta be drunk or something coming out like that. Like, don't nobody come out firing. Like, everybody want to see what's going on first. You ain't gonna just come out firing. Like, I don't know who does that though. I don't even know. So
And that's what
I
I was
don't
just
even know.
saying. That was what I was just saying, bro. I was just literally saying that, wasn't I, y'all? I was just saying if anybody around me, if something would have happened and one of us thought somebody was outside trying to mess with our car, the first thing we would have done is, hey yo, somebody outside, hey yo, hey, let's get, it would have been like some commotion leading up to that, and maybe some yelling and screaming. Who's out there? Get away from my car! I gotta get. You might even. You probably ain't gonna. I wouldn't do that. I don't think nobody I know would just shoot somebody because they messed with their car. But you would at least make an announcement or something like that. So a lot of us are believing that he didn't even make an announcement because had he did, don't you think, bro, the son would have been like, "Dad is me."
Even still, though, it's still crazy that you even got like I don't know how far the car was to the house or not, but you gotta have some good aim to just flat out kill somebody like that. Like you ain't like if you far away. I don't even know how you not know if it was your kid. You come outside, you just don't come outside shooting. Don't nobody just come outside shooting. It's hard to believe because I talked to another guy that I worked with when he worked with me there. I asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, man. He said something about he thought he thought somebody was going into his car, and he just came out firing. Even he was dumbfounded, so I don't even know. It's just I can't explain it, man. And he was a cool dude though. It wasn't like he was crazy or nothing, but for the most part that I seen, he was cool. He was cool with me, offered me to give me rides and stuff. So I don't know. It's just hard to believe. So I can't even. I don't even know.
Well, I'm glad you said that because Carmel Diva, who is also one of our chats, she's in the one of our co-hosts. She's not feeling too well, but she is in the chat watching, and she said, "So, from what you know of him, is this out of character for him?"
I wouldn't say that. No, I really didn't. I didn't know him personally, but like me just being around him, he didn't seem like that type of guy. But you just don't know what people on nowadays. But anybody, I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard to imagine me coming outside and my kid is messing with my car. I'm not about to just come outside shooting blatantly, not even looking or checking first, observing, see who it is. So that's what I'm not understanding. And having that type of precise aim to hit them as soon as you open the door, whatever, whatnot. It's baffling. So I can't really explain it. I'm
And I hear what
I'm
you're saying, bro. And one thing I wanted to mention was I had said earlier to the peeps who's watching us and the people on the panel. I said earlier how I was looking at a lot of the posts on Facebook, and a lot of people were saying that they hope this was really an accident and not done on purpose.
man.
Like a lot of people feel like it probably because it just don't make sense. Like I don't think I could ever, unless somebody broke into my house, unless somebody was physically trying to attack me, take me down, whether I'm at a store or in my driveway or in my home, would I ever shoot without saying anything? Like it's like this is the last resort. I'm bow. You know what I'm saying? But if
Oh
somebody
yeah.
was like, if I would hear somebody like, let's say I'm at home and I hear somebody like sound like they breaking glass or something around the house, I would come out there. I got a gun. I got a gun. I got a gun. I'm gonna shoot the guy. Get away. I would still announce myself and
Yeah,
say what I'm working with, right? And if you keep on coming, you know what I'm saying, bro. You know what I'm
for
saying? And
sure.
so for him
Yeah.
to just be outside and like you couldn't have, I mean, unless the child is deaf, I mean, you couldn't have, he couldn't have said anything. And it don't make any sense. And a lot of people think, well, he could have been drinking. Like you said, he could have been drinking. People mentioned that before. Was he drinking? Was he on drugs? How you just run out the house and just start shooting? Like, and
My
don't
thing
realize that's your son.
my thing is like damn. See, cause I wasn't there, so I don't know full details. Don't nobody do who it was, you know what I'm saying, the person that did it. So my thing is, damn, was he in the car already? And the car had tent, maybe? or was the kid already in the car, or like what's I don't really understand because I don't know, it's baffling because I'm not about to come outside. If I hear somebody breaking in, that's like I go outside, I hear somebody breaking in my truck. I'm not about to start firing at you. I want to go see. I go see first what's going on. It's just crazy. I don't come out guns blazing, all sporadic. It's just I don't know, man. It's crazy though. It's like the craziest
Yeah.
story I ever heard though, man. And then, cause one of my other friends I know, he texted me and told me to call him ASAP. I'm like, man, what the hell this dude talking about? So I called him, and he told me, gave me a rundown on what happened. I was just baffled. I said, yeah, right. I said, I can't believe that one. He was like, you
Man.
ain't gonna, he was like, I was like, cause I was like, man, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe you did that. He said, you just don't know what people will do nowadays, man. I'm just like, it gotta be something. It gotta be something to it though. Like you can't. Man, I don't want to say you did it intentional because who does that? I mean, not your own
Yeah,
kid, but
I can't even fathom somebody doing that intentionally, but it's just so many unanswered. And bro, I even said that earlier. I said, you know what, this is a local story, and I think I might really have to be on the case on this one. Like me and Karma Diva, we might have to be on the case, and we might have to go down to the courthouse for the hearings and everything. Because I really, this story is intriguing to me. It's tragic,
yeah,
it's horrible, but it's also intriguing.
yeah, very, very. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
no, he was the dude was cool. Like, so I can't see him doing that intentionally. My thing is the mugshot. The mugshot tells a lot though, too, though. So
thank you, bro. Okay, hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. Because hold up. When we were talking earlier, I think my other bro up at the top said, or was that him? He said, looking at the mugshot, it don't even look like he even like. And then somebody else said, well, everybody take mugshots. They look crazy and stuff like that. I'm like, no, man, if I would have just murdered my child and shot my child, I'd be up there. They have to hold me up for my mugshot because I'm just not going to be looking there like I'm ready to murder somebody else. This nigga look like he ready to murder somebody else. Now, that's just my opinion. So what do you have to say about the mugshot?
yeah, when I looked at the mugshots, like you can see it, facial expression. You can tell. Like I'm good with. I'm real good with looking at somebody and trying to like analyze facial expressions, eyeballs. Like he just got that look of like shit. Fuck it, it happened. Like now if I this was happening to me and I knew something like this was unintentional, man. They be taking a mugshot. I be fucking bawling, crying, because I know that ain't me. I know, and I couldn't even. I be crying in that, knowing that something like that happened. Like he got that look of like, shit, it happened. Like, hey, like,
And I can't get his facial expression out of my face. And they got his, like, even on our thumbnail for this video, I got his mugshot and I got the little boy. And Karma Diva said, what did she say? She said how big was the kid? From the pictures, Karma Diva, he looks like a small 10-year-old. Or maybe the average size 10-year-old. He don't look big at all. The pictures that they showed, the little boy don't look big at all. And my bro said he saw the little boy a couple of years ago when
yeah,
Will took you to work.
yeah, it's taking me home.
So he looked like the average size kid, around that age. He probably would have been like 8.
And the little kid was little. He wasn't like scrawny, but he little. Like he little. It was little. Like
And that's how he looked on the picture that they showed recently. He looks skinny and he looks like he could be a little or like, the average size
yeah,
10-year old. Yeah.
he was very, very small. Like he wasn't big or nothing. Like so, I don't even know how many. I ain't even trying to think about how many shots he fired or how many hit him. It's just crazy. Like I know, like,
Man,
I don't know if he fired multiple shots or not. It just, I don't
we didn't even
know.
discuss that, bro. I didn't even think about that. I'm just thinking about how, just I didn't even think about how many shots he could have shot or anything like that. And of course, all that is going to come out, eventually. All that's going to come out. So you will get more details later, but it's just really hard to believe, and it's just people who are not from our city. A lot of people just talking about this, and they don't even know how we get down here. They don't know like our community history. They don't know how a lot of us are really involved. Like this story just makes us look bad. It breaks my heart at the same time, and even the people who aren't from here, it breaks their heart too, because a lot of people still are like Omaha, Nebraska. Where the fuck is that? Like people to this day still like, where the fuck is Omaha, Nebraska? Oh, it's black people there. So we still got like this stigmatism, like like we just I don't know what people think, like we just some corn country. That's what people have always thought about us, and even in 2023, people still look at us like, oh, Omaha, Nebraska, you from there? Like there's black people there. Y'all got hoods. Do y'all got gangs? Do y'all got crimes? Do y'all got like when people
That's
hear
one
Omaha
thing.
who ain't from here, they don't really even know. They can't even they don't understand, what our city even
That's
is about.
that's one thing about it. Like people don't know about Omaha, and from like us that live here, that lived in the hood and been and seen stuff. Man, Omaha is dangerous. Ain't nowhere like right now. I don't live in North Omaha, but I ain't even trying to go back to North Omaha. It's just too much going
And
on.
you
Like
know me, I won't leave.
I
this
already know,
now
man. Like it's just
this is my blood, bro. Like we got the same mamas, and he know I will not leave North Omaha. But I don't judge you or anything, and he don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? I go visit him. He come visit me. We was just together at my crib on Thanksgiving. So, but he know what it is. He know I love North Omaha, no matter how ratchet we may be or dangerous at sometimes. This is my
it's our
heart.
city. Yeah.
This is my city. This is my heart, and it would take a lot for me to leave from North Omaha. But there was something we discussed earlier, me and my bro up top, and there was a white lady who had made a comment on Facebook, and I want to hear your opinion, bro, because me and my other bro already discussed it, right? So I want to hear
Yep.
your opinion because she said she was talking about how this is tragic, this is horrible, who does that to their child, whoop 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 whoop. And she was like, the white lady said, I was raised in North Omaha, and North Omaha used to be so much safer back in the day compared to now. Now, bro up top said he kind of agrees with her that it was safer back in the day. Me personally, I believe it's safer today than it was back in the day. And then I also said, well, I guess it depends on where you lived in North Omaha because, like Carmel Diva said, there were some pockets in Omaha where it was safe. Then you might hit a corner, and it's a lot of gangs over there. Then you might hit another corner, and it's cool over here. So, do you, in your personal opinion, think that where we live was safer back in the day, and we talking like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, compared to now? Which era do you think was safe?
um, yeah, I'll just say it like this. As time progresses, things don't get better. People say it'll get better, things don't get better. Everything gets worse. Everything gets more dangerous. People get more reckless. They don't think about they don't think about the laws. I feel it though. I can feel it. My spider senses be tingling. I can feel it. I was in the streets. I wasn't never out there shooting at people, but I was in the streets enough to know how city vibe feels. Like people shooting recklessly, thinking they gonna get away with it. A lot more. It's just a lot more. They don't care. It's more dangerous now, though. It's like when I was growing up, when we was growing up, it wasn't really like that. Like I wasn't really afraid to go outside like mid 2000s maybe.
And I wasn't either. I wasn't
Dangerous.
afraid either to go outside, but I still thought it was more dangerous then because there was a lot more of our people that we knew dying, like a lot more of our friends, a lot more people was getting murdered, a lot more. I compare that to now where somebody might get killed once every, I don't know what you say, once every, I don't know, 5, 6 months, once a, I mean, it's nothing compared to back in the day.
Nah,
So that's what
nah.
I go off. I go off
It's
on every time
it's
I
way
turned
worse.
around, it was somebody getting killed.
Nah, it's
And
way
and to
worse.
me, when I watch the news, I don't see a lot of people getting killed. I don't not in the late 2000s, not in the 2020s. I don't see a lot of people being killed.
Yeah, it's worse. I would
I
say it's
don't.
worse. Cause like in I want to say maybe
Maybe I'm not watching enough
2000.
news.
Man, it's ridiculous out here. Like every time I look up, somebody getting shot. Like every time I look on the news, shot is a shooting here, shooting there. It's worse. It get worse. Like as the years progress, it gets worse. And day
Must
by
not be
day, it gets
watching the news
worse.
because I don't see it. I don't see the crime. And I might have to do a little investigation. I might really have to do some investigation.
You can
Maybe me
you
and
can
Tone,
check
maybe we'll check like the stats. That's what I'm
you
gonna have
can
to do. I'm
check
gonna have to check the stats.
you can check the somehow you probably be able to check the year by year progression rate.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check the stats. I'm gonna check the
Yeah,
stats
cause that'll
because
show you
I
right
I don't
there.
see it. I don't see it. Now last year, I will say last year it was jumping up in this mud. I can say that, and during the Rona, I can say during the Rona that it was a lot of things going on during the Rona. I can say that. People just
Cause,
crazy, people antsy, people stuck in the house, people just acting stupid. So I
'cause
can say that.
even in like the mid 2000, I'm gonna say like between 2010 and 2016, 17 maybe. There was one incident where it was like almost like 9 shootings in one day. Like it
I
kept happening.
remember.
Like
I
they kept
remember.
shooting. Like so it's just bad. Like it's not
And see, that's
it's
that's
not.
probably the thing. That's probably the thing because when I think in the past and when I think today, maybe I'm not broad enough. Because when
Well,
I
you know
think
what's
in the past, I'm thinking the 80s and 90s was crazy and it was horrible. That's what I'm
you
thinking.
know
All the drugs, all the gangs, all the murders. And then like when you come to the 2000s and the 2010s, I just
yeah,
I
it's
don't know. I
even
don't have to do the
worse.
stats. I don't have to do the stats because I still feel like it was worse then than it is in the
Nah,
2000s and the 2010s. But that's just my
nah, it's
opinion. But I will do the stats, bro, and I will get the gun violence and all that kind of stuff. I will do that.
yeah, I would say it's worse now because you got a lot of younger youth that's way active out here in the streets. Don't know nothing about
I can
hood
agree. I
stuff.
can agree with that. I can agree
They
with
just
that.
they just go off of the older people.
I
Maybe
can
they
agree with
show
that.
them because maybe they show them pictures of people that they looking for type stuff, and then the people that get killed, they don't even know that these little people looking for them. Like so, they
Yeah,
caught
yeah,
off guard. And they don't know like because
yeah.
then you got these
And
little people
brother,
killing you, and they don't even know because
hmm
they have no clue. They're like, who is this little dude running up on me? Like, they ain't got no clue. Yeah, that's his older OGs or whatever pointed you out in the picture. Maybe Facebook, caught you on Facebook, showed them your Facebook page. Yeah, that's him right there. I'm gonna need you to go see about him. And you just don't know. Like, you just don't know.
I can agree with that, and I think bro up top can agree with that too. Like the thing about it was back in the day, I always say this. Back in the day, if you got messed up, it was intentional It was on purpose and it was accurate. Now,
Yeah. See
more so
now.
after that, it's just like randoms. Anybody can get it. You know, a kid could get in the way. You know, it's like people these days, the younger generation, they don't care as much. They just out there just being dumb and being reckless. Back in the day, if you had issues with somebody, you had issues with that person, and they made sure they came to you and they handled that situation, and that was
I think
it.
it's. I think it. Well, to me, my opinion is like the opposite because back then it was like more reckless with it because people were still going off of colors and all that other stuff. You wear a certain color and yeah, you probably get shot at
I
type
can
stuff.
agree with
Like
that.
it,
I can agree
like
with
it ain't
that.
like now. It ain't really like that. It ain't like that at all now. It's more or less yeah. That
Well,
person
I
got
say that
specific like
because a lot more children these days, a lot more younger people have no respect. Like back in the day, you could be like the hardest nigga in the hood, but if you run across an old woman, you gonna like, okay, you need help, ma'am?
oh
Can I
yeah
help
for
you with your
sure,
groceries? Could I hold this door open for you? Something like that. You need your
sure
yard cut. They will even pay it. They might not get down and do it themselves, but they'll have somebody cut your grass, shovel your snow. The niggas today, they hard headed and they have no respect. They don't respect elders. They don't respect nobody. And
yeah for sure.
that's a big difference in back in the day. Like we might
Oh
have
yeah,
done shit that we wasn't supposed to do back in the day, but we was very respectful when it came to elderly people. Very
oh yeah,
respectful. And
always.
that's one big thing. Yeah, we was always like, mom would never hear Tanya was out there or one of my brothers was out there and we done cussed out an old person or we didn't, she would never hear
Yeah,
nothing like that. These kids nowadays, they don't care who around. It could be 10 elderly women sitting right next to them. They will cuss like sailors. Talk about what they did to
man.
some female last night in bed. And trust me, I know because my boys play sports all through school, including high school. And those kids will be sitting in the bleachers telling everything. And you just be sitting there like, I know they ain't just said that.
Man,
And all these
for
older
real.
people sitting right next to them. So,
Exactly.
certain things that I agree with that you're saying, and we might have difference of opinion or whatever. And then keep in mind, bro, I'm like how many years older than you? We was just talking about this the other day. So I think that makes a difference too. Like when I was
Uh,
like out there in the streets, you was how old? You was like
uh,
maybe like in
you
kindergarten
you
or something
you
like that.
9 years. You
Right. So that's
nine.
a big difference. That's a big
Yeah, for
difference. So
sure.
when I was out there in the streets, you was still, you know, third grade, second grade, while we was out there in the streets. And then about time y'all got in the streets, I was like grown by then and was having kids and I was trying to stay my ass out the streets.
Yeah, for
So,
sure, for
it
sure.
was like a gap in between, like almost a decade. So I can understand. I never thought of that before, bro. How me and you can see things differently because of that right there. We are almost a decade apart.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
almost
I'm
10.
glad I just thought about that because that can make a difference on how you feel about the hood and how I feel about the hood. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for
that
sure. Cause I done
yeah.
had my little situations out there.
Right, and we ain't gonna, bro. We don't come on here saying nothing that might put us in
Yeah, no,
compromise. That's it. We
no.
don't, bro. I might be a little transparent on here sometimes because this is my show, and I have thousands of subscribers and supporters, and sometimes I'll be a little transparent, and sometimes I tell a little stuff about my background. But we don't ever want to like
Oh
put
yeah, I
something
ain't gonna
out there
put
that can
nothing
might
out
get us.
there.
So I'm just saying, bro, don't
Yeah.
go too deep into the shit I used to be in all day, and I ain't go vice versa. Okay, vice vice
Yeah,
versa.
nah, I ain't gonna speak on nothing.
Yeah, we don't
I'm
want to get
just
no
saying,
incriminating shit, okay? Because
yeah.
we was out there in the streets, but one thing I tell my supporters and my subscribers, a lot of our family member, and I believe you can agree with me on this. A lot of our family members, whether it was our side, because my your dad is my stepdad. So whether it was our side or my biological dad or my grandma's side, or we all had from all areas. We had people who was some of them was from the street. So when you grow up and you got all these people around you, the cousins, the uncles, all around you, sometimes you just find your way into the streets. And it doesn't
Yeah,
mean that we
facts.
had a bad upbringing because we had a very, very religious mother who didn't want us out in the streets, but sometimes it's just like you can only do so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And when it
yeah,
came
for
to us,
sure.
bro, we was raised in church. We was on that pew. We was at church 3, 4, 5 days a week. It's
Yeah,
still somehow we still found our way
right in them
to the street.
streets. Yeah,
And that's why I say when people try to run one on me or try to run game on me, bro, I'll be like, bitch, I'm from the streets and from the church. You
man,
can get it one way or the other. Like I can read you through the Bible, or I can beat
well,
your
me,
ass in the streets. Like
I'm gonna pray for you before I whoop your ass.
I'm like, child. But bro, let me just tell you, I need you to confirm something real quick. And you ain't never been on here, and you ain't probably never even listened to my show. But one thing about it was, I be telling this story sometimes. Like every time I used to get into a fight or something, did mom come and try to break it up, or did she just be like, whatever?
No, mom ain't never broke nothing up.
She
Like
ain't
I
even
don't
never.
know. Like my sister used to always, man. My sister used to. It be dudes used to mess with me. It be girls used to mess with me. I remember when I was a little kid, some girls messing with me. Man, I went and got my sister. Man, she beat the brakes off this girl. This was right on the corner of 24th and Pinckney. Remember when they had the little basketball
Mm-hmm.
rim? Yeah, right
Mm-hmm.
there. I remember that's the
You talking
center for
about you
real.
talking about Kiki?
Yeah.
Remember the cross-sided girl, bro? I told you the
She
Kiki,
beat the
the
brakes off
cross-sided
that
girl.
girl.
Remember
Man, she beat the
remember
brakes
she
off
thought
that
we was
girl.
bloods. Remember she thought we was
Yeah,
bloods because Auntie gave me that South High red jacket, and she thought we was
yep,
bloods, and she kept saying how she was gonna fuck us up.
yep.
Yep,
I'm
when
like,
I
man,
told them a story, I told them I beat that bitch out her clothes. My brothers was there. I've been telling that story.
man, that shit was crazy. That's like my first fight I seen. I was a little ass kid. Like, man, why this girl messing
You
with me?
was
I ain't even
little. Cause she was
I ain't
fucking with
even.
motherfuckers who fucked with me. That's what it was. She
Yeah,
was trying to get to me.
yeah. She like, oh yeah, that's your sister talking crazy, pushing me, hitting me. I'm like, man, I don't even. Like I'm a little ass kid. Like, oh, I ain't even in the streets. Like, you come on now, why you messing with me?
Yeah, y'all wasn't in the y'all see that's what I'm saying. It was a 9, 10 year gap. So when I was in the streets, y'all was still little kids. And she was
Yeah, I'm
fucking
still
with
playing
y'all
Nintendo.
to get
Yeah,
she was fucking with y'all to get with me. And I was telling people how I beat that bitch ass. I remember I beat her out her clothes. I remember all y'all was
man, I
standing
was
around like that
little.
bitch she ain't got no clothes on. She just the bra on. And man, we was fighting.
Man,
We was stomping.
that was crazy.
We was stomping.
I remember going back to the house to get you. Like, man, sorry, this girl messing with me. Like, who? Like, man, come outside.
And
Oh,
we
me.
got up there and we would start playing basketball. I remember TT, everybody was there.
Yeah,
It was
that's
crazy. And as soon as I
man,
saw
that's
that
so
girl
long ago.
approach, as soon as I saw her approach, I was like, what the fuck you looking at? She was like, what the fuck you looking at? And that's when I took that basketball and bounced it off her head and we got to banging. Like,
That
ooh.
shit was
But do you remember that
crazy though,
fight?
man.
Okay, do you remember the fight? Remember when our dogs was getting stolen?
Oh, yep.
Was you big enough to remember that?
I was when we stayed on
Off of 27th around the corner, remember?
yep. And they started little puppies.
Yep. Remember we had that dog named Brownie. It was a Labrador, and she had a whole bunch of puppies. And remember they was getting
Yep.
stolen, and we didn't know who was stealing them.
Yeah, but the girl and that her brother next
And
door.
her brother, they say like around the corner. And remember, I
Yep.
remember specifically, y'all had came in the house. You had came in the house with our other brother, and y'all said, Tanya, they out there stealing our puppies. They stealing our puppies. And remember the alley when you go
Yep.
out our backyard, we run to the alley to go to the other street, and that's where they was. And that
Yep.
dude, I approached him, and I was like, "Give us our puppies back." And he had the nerve to throw. I remember it was a Sprite bottle. It was either a Sprite or a Seven Up pop bottle, and he threw it at my head. I must have took that bitch, and I must have took it upside his head and whooped the dog shit out that nigga. And we got
Yeah,
our
that shit
dogs
was
back.
crazy. Yeah,
I
that shit
must
was
have whooped
crazy.
the dog shit out that nigga.
I was like,
I'm
I was
like,
like, damn. Like little sister, big sister be out here whooping people.
and that's what I be telling you. I be trying to tell people. I be trying to tell people. Like I used to be out there whooping ass. Like people don't even like people look at me at this day and they be like, she looks too nice. She looks too sweet. She don't look like she used to be out there. Man, I used to be banging, like fighting, like it was
Sister
nothing.
was sister was thugging back in the day, hardcore.
It was nothing. It was nothing. And then I kind of felt kind of bad because when I had met, I ain't gonna say his name, but remember the Crip that I was with, and that's how I kind of got involved, hanging around with the Crips and stuff. And then y'all kind of like got involved with the Crips. I kind of felt kind of bad, like, damn, am I leading by a bad example? Now my brother's out here in the street, and I thought I was in the streets. Y'all was really in the streets. I thought I was doing shit. I wasn't doing shit compared to y'all. And again, we ain't gonna say we ain't gonna, incriminate nobody or nothing on here. But I was like, oh damn. And then I was like, fuck it, it is what it is. All I can do is hope for the best. You know, that's
Yeah,
all
for
I can do is
sure,
hope for the
man.
best.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's hey, I didn't change a lot though, so
Oh, we both
I got
have.
yeah, big
We
time.
both have.
I just be around my kids. I had grandkids, man. I ain't got time for no street stuff.
I was trying, yeah, Charlie, yeah, Charlie. I was getting it in, Charlie, but we all was. But one thing I can say, I am super, super proud of my brothers, all of them, because when you look at where we came from, and we didn't have a lot. Like I said this before, we didn't have a lot. We had very minimal when we was growing up, and so that's why the streets kind of like was attractive to us, because we didn't have a lot. And even though we grew up in church, we still had parts of our family that was in the streets. So, what's more appealing, church or the streets? When it comes to younger kids, of course, the streets is more appealing than sitting on a pew all the time in church. And so I am very proud of my brothers. I'm very proud of me, where we come from. It took a lot to get where we are. So one thing I can say about you, bro, I am very, very, very proud of you. Very proud. So if I ain't never told you this before, you already know I love you. We say that all the time. But if
For
I ain't
sure,
never
for
ever
sure,
told you, I am very, very proud of you. Because I
for
know
sure.
where you came from. Like I know where you came from and what you went through to get to where you are today. So I am
Man,
very, very proud of you. So
appreciate it too.
I just want to make sure you know
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure,
Charlie
for
said,
sure.
"Congrats." Yes, Charlie. That's hey, bro. You know how I call my truck white chocolate? That's our white chocolate right there, Charlie. But yeah, that's our white chocolate right there. But she's so sweet. But yeah, I don't know if you want to stay on here. I want to add Charlie to the panel because she got to tell us about some beef she had got in on YouTube. But if you want to drop down, bro, I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight and chiming in on the situation at hand with Will, McDonald, and you know that
Yeah,
thing
for
going
sure,
on.
for
But if you
sure.
want to stay on here, you can. Otherwise, I can drop you off and we'll just continue the show. But regardless, I love you. I enjoy spending time with you guys on Thanksgiving and all my nieces and nephews.
What's
it
up, man?
was
You
it
ain't
was
got no cake
amazing.
left over there? You ain't got no
Man,
cake left over there?
bro, ain't nothing left. I think, man, let me think. Is there anything left in there?
Ain't no pie, no nothing.
Oh, it's some pie. Yep, it's some pies left. It's some pies left.
Man, I'm
It's some
about to come get some
pecan
pie.
pies. It's some pecan pies, and I think it might be some apple pie left.
Man,
So if
I'm
you
about to
want
come
it,
over
you
there and get
better
some
come
pie.
get some because what's
I'm about to
tomorrow?
come right
Tuesday,
now.
Wednesday. Okay, just
Yeah,
hump when you outside, and I'll unlock the door and turn the alarm off.
yeah, I'm on my way there.
All right, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, see you in a minute.
All right.
All right, love you.
Yeah, late too.
All right. Yeah, that's my baby bro. That's my baby bro, y'all. That's the baby.
That's
But
what's up.
let me so y'all don't want to get us reminiscing because we that's why I was like, bro, we can't incriminate ourselves on here now. Hey Charlie.
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, boo? Now you gotta tell me, Charlie. I was listening to a whole no, wait a minute. I was listening to okay, first of all, I was listening to Spill It, and this was maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And he had you in his commentary. He was like, I don't know why people are hitting me up talking about Charlie did this or Charlie did that. And I was there during the Halloween, contest and I saw your
Mhm.
whole, setup and everything. And I loved it. And I told you that. And I thought you did great. And even though you thought like the timing was off, I told you, I said, I think it was just a delay because I really believe that you was getting it. You was on beat and all that kind of stuff. But I never would have thought that it would come back that Charlie offended, or that people thought Charlie offended Spillet Boy, aka James, aka Treasure Lane. So I was like, is this people just starting shit? And then I was on VS Live the other day, and she mentioned it again when VS was on that live yesterday, I think it was. And she mentioned it, and she was like, I don't know why they doing that to Charlie. She didn't offend him. And, she kind of gave you some advice about what to do in response. But how do you feel about that? Like, did you think that anything would pop off behind that?
No, because my character was totally not. I did a live about this the other day, but it was just short, 45 seconds, 45 minutes or something. But like, I didn't intentionally try to go after James at all. It was, if anything, it was a homage to him. I literally got cleaned up so good that I passed away. I was a casualty of the beef sector.
And that was the funniest part of your Halloween story.
I was literally a casualty. See, that's what had happened. I couldn't read, so they got me. But yeah, no, we I don't even know where that came from in the first, which I did watch the live. And if you look under it, I did comment and tell Mother the same thing I've always said. And I was glad that James caught it, that he realized it was never shade. You know what I'm saying? Like he went under there and he's like, "No, Charlie's never shaded me." And in fact, after that, I've seen her say, "Hey, mother," in chats all the time. You know what I'm saying? If she had a problem, she would have came at me. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't.
he was saying. He was like, she always talks to me and she always say hi and she always, stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't even know where that would, like, where somebody's brain would go into that, because it was like, I don't know if maybe just because I'm white they don't like me, or maybe they're just trying to start stuff because I don't know why. Because maybe it's because my affiliation with VS, they're trying to get at her through me, kind
That's
of
what I
situation.
definitely believe. That's what I
Oh, girl, that
believe.
ain't girl. There's that one lady, the first lady that I told you that doxed me the
Hmm.
first time. She come
Hmm.
at me again, and I didn't even do nothing to the woman. I'm like, good
What?
Lord, baby Jesus, why you keep coming after me? I ain't did nothing to you. Leave me alone, woman.
Well, what did she do this time?
Well, she called me Charlie Percival. I don't know where she got that from. She
She called you
basically
what? Charlie
threatened.
Person?
Yeah, she basically tried to threaten VS
Hmm.
that she was going to ruin my life. I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah, I'm like, she said she was going to keep messing with me. I'm like, but why? This don't make no sense. See, that makes you look like the bad guy at this point, because something VS always taught me, and you know this from the beef sector, don't force beefs. Don't go after somebody who didn't do nothing to you. Go after somebody who actually deserves it. She's literally trying to
Mm-hmm.
force a beef,
Mm-hmm.
trying to jump on me for apparently no reason. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if I had done something, I would admit it. There's a couple
Mm-hmm.
people I was shady to in the past. I could say they might have a reason to be mad at me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but she wouldn't be one of them.
Well, I think a lot of people are, and I know you probably heard me say before, but when I don't believe in the manufactured beefs and all
Yeah.
that, I don't even follow them. I don't do commentary. If I really think something's manufactured, I don't even do commentary on it. And so there has been times, even recently, especially after VS came back, because people, it's natural for people to come at people who support her,
Hmm.
even if you liked her for years. Now that she's back, of course people gonna say something now that she's back. Like, I don't know how many times I have supported her in videos and commentary and over the years, but nobody's ever really said anything to me about it until she got back.
Hmm.
And so I felt like several people tried to force beast with me, and I pay them dust.
That's
I
what I
paid them
do.
dust because you ain't about to be making no money off my back. You ain't about to be this ain't gonna be no back and forth where you up here talking about, yeah, whatever the hood table, whatever, whatever. It is whatever. Say what you gotta say. I'll say what I gotta say if I want to. And that's it.
I'll tell you what though, they messing up doing that because if myself specifically speaking on me, because everybody knows who you are, but even then it's making your name ring in the streets and make people curious who may have not have been a
Hmm.
supporter of yours and they come over here, same thing for me.
Yep.
They don't realize if they just left me alone, I would be a no name in the chat. They
Yep.
don't realize
Yep.
they're actually making people go, why are they messing with her? She don't do, you know what I'm saying? So it's making people like me that may have not
Hmm.
liked me before. So they're doing the polar opposite of what they intended to do. They're trying to
Yep.
bring you down, but they're actually pushing you up, and they don't even
And
realize it.
mhm. And that's one thing I learned about being in the B sector is when there is somebody that has an issue with you, the more and more they say your name, the more and more people who don't know you are going to be like, who is that? Who's she talking about? Let me go over here. Let me click. They might not stay subscribed, but I do it too. Like, okay,
Mhm.
let's say the uppity thing with her son. I do it too. I went and subscribed to that boy's channel and didn't even know what type of commentary he was going to be doing. Now, will I stay subscribed to his channel? I don't think so because the last video I looked at, he was showing us around some little raggedy ass little room that he had with some ramen noodles on the table and a fan and some other shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? You came on here to tell us about your mama beat y'all and starved y'all, and the state took y'all from the mama, and then next thing we know, after everybody get over there and support your channel, now you over here taking us on not apartment tours, not house tours, but a bedroom tour. I was like, oh shit, I don't know how long I'm gonna be subscribed over here. But when you do hear bullshit like that be going on in the sector, sometimes you might hit the subscribe button and give that person a click and a view. But sometimes you might unsubscribe eventually.
Mhm.
But as if I get your subscription, like I love a view is a view. I love her name. Because if I get your subscription or not, and you came over here and give me a click or a view is a view.
Is a
And
view. Mhm.
that's why I love a view Miss Pam's name.
I do
But
too.
yeah, child. But it's a
They,
you gonna get some subscribers. People gonna keep talking shit about you. Oh, you gonna get some more subscribers. That's a given.
oh, it's crazy. It's bigger names that are doing it now. I was like, oh, I'm somebody now.
Well, how do you think I felt when okay, now me and Deanna rock hard, right?
Uh-huh.
And like I said, nobody said anything about any commentary or any support I said about VS before she got back. But as soon as she get back, and I hit the panel, me and VS talk, then we got the Sean Bradleys, we got all kind of people. Oh, what is Deanna gonna say when she find out she's talking to VS? And that's Deanna's enemy, and all this kind of. And Deanna got wind of that and said, first of all, that bitch ain't even my enemy. Second of all, me and the hood table, me and Tanya grown. I don't run her shit. She don't run mine. Why the fuck am I supposed to be mad? Cause she talking a bit like it was the weirdest shit. But I got a lot of subscribers from him just making those few comments in his video. And I'm not trying to beef back and forth with him over no bullshit like that. And even when Savage got pissed because I was talking to BS, she made comments about me in her video. I got a whole bunch more subscribers from that shit. So you keep on talking and keep on making allegations and doing your commentary over bullshit, and we gonna keep on getting subscribers. And I'm not going back and forth with you, boo boo.
Yep.
I'm not.
That's my last video. It was just basically a thank you to James. It was because he caught it. You know what I'm saying? He caught that it wasn't shade. He saw it for what it was. It was just a joke. And it was never meant to be anything harmful against him. I was sitting there trying to think of whose intro or who could I say that, basically, murdered me. See, who swept me up real good. And I just thought the cleanup song was just amazing. So I was like, yeah, I want to do the cleanup. I got cleaned up.
And it was perfect. I mean, I enjoyed the whole show, and I ain't gonna lie, I was watching back and forth between Nika's and I was watching VS, and I was just going back and forth watching the different people and checking out the costumes and stuff. And I thought both panels did great. But when you came on there, it was just a shock. It was like, what the hell, Charlie? Oh shit, go Charlie, go Charlie. It was funny. It was cute. It was entertaining. So I just didn't see how people took that, what you did, as an insult to James when you didn't say anything negative about him. If anything, you said, yeah, he cleaned me up. He told my ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you was
He
giving
got me
him his
good, girl.
props. Yeah, you was giving him his props for what he did.
That was
Like,
homage. What are you talking about? I would love to be on the cleanup. Clean me up. I'm gonna be sitting there in the chat laughing, and I'm gonna go, "Ooh, he got."
right, right. So I don't know. People just, I don't know. Sometimes, like I say, with these manufactured beefs and these people just they just gotta have a storyline. They just, sometimes I just look at the shit and I just let it roll. Just let it roll right off my back. Like, okay, that's gonna last for about a good 2 days, and then,
Yeah. Because if I
I'm gonna
don't
still
say
be on here doing
nothing,
my shit. I ain't gonna say shit, but I'm gonna still be on here talking my shit and leaving you out of the topic. And I'm gonna still be making my videos and get my clicks and views. And that's what you do, and that's what advice BS was basically telling you. Shit, tell thing, give James a shout out for him recognizing what's real and what's about what people are trying to do. So yeah, that's
it was
it.
it was pretty much that. That's exactly what it was. It was, and I did exactly what she told me to do because I listened to the Queen, baby, or the Kang Dangling, as she likes to call herself.
And
Jokes.
if nobody knows how to handle motherfuckers on these streets, is her.
She's
Okay,
she been through so much with so many people.
true. And a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people have been through a whole bunch of bullshit on here, and a lot of us, we just sit back and watch, and we support who we want to
Mhm.
support, and every now and then we might talk a little shit, in the comment section. But one thing I say is, even when it comes to people who support me, I support a lot of people. So when people support me, and it's like they might also support somebody I don't like, I don't have issues with it. I've never had you can't nobody ever say in the past 6, 7 years that I've been on here that I've ever had an issue with somebody supporting somebody I don't like. I'm like with with most people, as long as you ain't popping off and talking shit and dragging me in the amen, section,
Yeah,
we
I know what you
good.
mean.
Yeah, we good. So I just hate how people try to like with Charmer. He was like, I wonder how Deanna gonna feel. That shit was so funny to us. Like, are you serious? Like that is so grade school. Like that is so junior high.
And
Like
it's
there are people
also
who Deanna support that I do not like. Like I really don't like. And I ain't even gonna say one of their names, but I can't stand that bitch. And you might know who I'm talking about.
you
But
can put it in the back chat for
I
real.
will. I'll put in the back chat. But Deanna, she likes her and she be in Deanna's chat, and I can't stand that bitch. But I don't say anything because it's like we both grown. You fuck with who you fuck with, and I fuck with who I fuck with, and she ain't never said anything about anybody that I fuck with that she don't fuck with. So
You keep that
I'm
stuff
just a little
separate, and
bit
like
too
if I go
mature.
into a chat and I am supporting somebody, then like I was in Nessa's chat and I didn't realize that at the beginning she had said something about VS, right? I wasn't there
Right.
for that. But at the same time, VS knows me and knows that first off, I'm not gonna be a part of that. Oh yeah, I don't
Uh-huh.
like that. I don't like that person either.
Okay, I figure,
we gonna
I
call that
figure.
person the drunk. Anyway.
I figure. That's what I figured. Hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, like she knows my loyalty lies with her. You know what I'm saying? But like if I would worse to pop into a chat and they talking about my peoples, if I just popped into a chat, somebody started talking about the hood table, I'm not gonna entertain it. I'll sit
Right.
there and I'll wait for the next topic, or I'm gonna click the hell off. One of the two.
Exactly. Exactly. As long as you're not entertaining the shit, like there's been times when I've been in somebody's chat and they talking shit, but what I've learned, I've been on this YouTube street so long, like somebody could really be talking and dragging somebody you don't like, and then 2 minutes later they on to a whole topic.
Mm-hmm.
So I might sit around and be like, is they gonna discuss something else? I might keep quiet, while I'm in there. I might say hey to people, hey, how y'all doing? Stuff like that. And then once that passes and another topic comes up, then I might be a little bit more vocal. But most people know me. I usually just come into your chat, hey, how you doing? What's up? What's up, mods? What's up?
That's pretty much
I'll like,
me.
share, subscribe. That's pretty much me. I'm not really a chatty patty when it comes to, the chats. So, I don't get too involved in that anyway, but I'm definitely not going to be in the amen section and all that if it's somebody I fuck with that's being dragged. And that's the thing. That's something that we all learn on here, but there's still some people who don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna be over there at all. And I say to those people, as I always said, if you feel that way about me, then leave me the fuck alone.
Now, I
Because
will
I am
say,
too goddamn old and my mama is in heaven for somebody to tell me where the fuck I can go on YouTube.
you ain't gonna catch me in somebody's chat that has done my friend dirty, like real bad. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never gonna catch me over there. Ever. Ever, 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 ever.
And
But
I
that's
can
because
understand that.
also I'm the type of person, if you mess with my friend like that, I don't like you no more. I don't like you.
And I can, and without even saying names, I can already think about who some of the people you are that you're referring to.
Too.
And
Yes, you already know.
I absolutely agree. Sometimes certain things happen on here, and you just like, I can't fuck with you at all.
Mm-mm.
I
And
can't
see,
fuck with you at all.
it's not necessarily personal for me because we never had anything, but at the same time it is personal because once you go that far with somebody I care about, it's like well, F you.
Yeah,
That's like if somebody messed with brother, somebody messed with brother over here, and somebody did that, you'd be like, F that person, screw you, you ain't welcome back here. You know what I'm saying? It's the same
exactly,
feeling for me, like nah, I'm good on that.
exactly, exactly. And then see that's also gives some insight to certain relationships on here too. Because me personally, when I came on here, I was just all over the place. I
Mm-hmm.
like this person, I like that person, I might like this person, I might not like that, but I was pretty much open and just going here, 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 just mingling, socializing, whatever, whatever, just doing what the fuck I wanted to do. So there might have along that time been somebody that I followed and supported who got into it with somebody else. Did I necessarily be like, okay, well, I ain't fucking with that person no more?
See, it's
Maybe,
different though
maybe
when you're a
not.
subby
That's
versus
that's that's yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there are also some people because only like mod for what, maybe two people, maybe three at the most. Maybe three at the most. And some of the people I sub for don't, my for don't fuck with somebody else.
but you keep
But
it
it's like
professional.
I keep it, thank you. That's what I'm saying. I still know how to, everybody can't be neutral, Charlie.
Yeah.
It's people, some people just cannot be neutral. There is nobody on here that I really, really was like, okay, I like you so bad, I like you so bad, I like you so bad, I just can't. with this person. With me, it's like if somebody do something to somebody else, that don't necessarily mean I don't like that person or I can't fuck with that person. Sometimes, even in real life, I have had friends who liked a certain person and they might not have, liked a certain person. And I'd be like, okay, well, that's my friend. I've been knowing them for years. You might not like them, but that's still my friend. So we're gonna keep it you over here, you over here. You know what I'm saying? Don't
I
talk
don't want
shit to me about that person, and you
yeah.
don't talk shit to me about that person. You know what I'm saying?
I've been that friend before too. I've been the center person of it of people. My friends start beefing and fighting over a dude. I've had that happen multiple times.
Yeah. And it
And I'd be like, I don't
happens.
want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from
And
you
that's how
neither.
I am. That's how I am on these YouTube streets. But there are certain people that I just don't fuck with because I don't like their I just don't like them, period. Like they just leave a bad taste in my mouth. I can't even stand the sound of their voice. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's certain
They
people like
grate
that
you.
on here. Right. And it don't matter. It could be somebody I really, really like on here that just loves them. And I'm still not gonna say shit about it. So that's how I feel on the flip side. If I really, really like somebody and you don't, I don't want you telling me, well, you can't fuck with them.
Yeah.
Because I
I
don't ever tell nobody they can't fuck with nobody, and I don't ever say anything about it. I just
and
still
see
support who I like.
that's the misconception is that people were saying that Vias was telling other people. No, not really. She never told me to do that. I chose to do that, which is different. It's out of respect and
Hmm.
loyalty with certain people who have went too far. It's not with everybody. It's with certain people because I can go around, move, and do whatever I want. I'm not, oh, you can't do this. You can't. No, it's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
And I
There's
remember that.
certain,
I
yeah, it's just out
remember.
of
She's always
loyalty.
been like that.
For me, it's always been, there's certain people if they carry it too far, and those certain people I'm already talking about without saying names because we ain't giving them no clout. Um,
Uh huh.
that I'm just not going to mess with because once you've done something to that degree, first off, if you would do that to somebody, like just randomly, right? What would you
Hmm.
do to me? That's the way I feel about it. I don't trust you now because I see who you are, and I'm like,
And that's
uh-uh.
and without saying names again,
Mhm.
those are probably the same people I don't fuck with, and it don't have nothing really to do with VS per se. You know what I'm saying? Like the kind of person that I am, the kind of people that I rock with, the kind of upbringing that I have. It could have been VS. It could have been 5, 10 other people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That this person did. So that's why I said it's not necessarily her per se. Why I don't fuck with certain people. You know what I mean?
Same. I know exactly what you mean
It's
because
like,
I
oh, you was a shady, dirty bitch. You know, and it don't
you
matter
good.
who you might have done. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who you might have done. It's just like in the hood. Like, bro, like some people that we probably grew up with, they would stab their own mom in the back. They would fuck up
Mhm.
their own children. They would fuck up their own daddy. Like, you just look at them like, you is you know what I'm saying? I ain't no fucking with you. I don't care who you did it to.
You
It's
a dirty
just
scallywag. Ain't got no hair on that.
exactly.
We now, but
Exactly.
that
And
song
that's
just
how I
came to
feel
mind.
about some people on here. I feel like not necessarily if you did it to them. I just feel like I don't fuck with that. Like when I look at snitches and I look
Mhm.
at people who snitching on here, I don't fuck with them. So anybody that's on here snitching, you probably already know I don't fuck with them without me even saying names.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them that snitch. Yeah,
Right.
there's ones that be playing these games that is dangerous, can get some people hurt and stuff. I'm like,
Exactly.
no, baby, you going way too far out the lane. I can't.
Right. And it
If
don't
we was
matter who
both in
they
the
did
hood
it
at the
to.
same time, you would be the one that everybody beat up. Yeah.
Exactly. And it don't have nothing to do with who. It could have been Ray, Day Day, Dee Dee, Kiki. It don't matter. It's just your behavior, and I don't agree with it. So that's my thing when it comes to these YouTube streets. If I don't fuck with somebody, it ain't necessarily because of a certain individual that they did something to. It's just what they did, if that makes sense.
Oh, I get exactly what you mean because there's certain things that like even when it comes to some ops, if somebody did it, you know what I'm saying? I would be like, nah, I ain't messing with you neither, because if you do that to them, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that
Right.
just go too far. Like, I ain't doing it. I ain't,
Yep, yep.
I ain't
But
going
my
there.
brother wasn't lying, y'all. My brother wasn't lying. He done showed up to get these doggone pies.
He
What up, man?
he just showed up. He getting his ass.
Yes. He getting his pies. I was like, he on some bullshit. He ain't gonna really gonna come.
He did too, didn't he? He gonna get them
Oh
pass.
shit. He said he been out there for 5 minutes. I ain't heard you ring no doorbell, nothing.
You said pull up on home.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Oh, my bad. I was up here talking to Charlie. Didn't even hear you.
My bad, bruh.
She said, my bad, bro. She was keeping me entertained.
Charlie.
Charlie, you don't be worried about who Charlie is. Charlie, don't you got a husband?
That's
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's
sorry.
Charlie
I'm
right
sorry.
there. He looking at your picture like, who is that?
I'm
Yeah, Charlie is married.
straight up got that ring on.
She said, I straight up got a ring. Don't take all the pecan pie. Oh,
Oh, speaking of pecan pies, I made 2 diabetic friendly ones the other day, and they turned out bomb. You can't even tell they sugar free. They taste so good.
really?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
I
never
found
had a sugar-free pecan pie.
Mm-hmm. They got this new recipe out. There's this lady on YouTube who did it, and I'm gonna say it the only way I know how to say it, because you know
That's
me.
apple.
It was a black lady who made it, and it was
You,
bomb. The white lady who made it,
just
she
say
didn't put
something.
enough in it. It wasn't right. It just So I went by her recipe. She did it right, and her recipe, oh, it come out so beautiful. It even, like, the filling was exactly the same as if you used molasses and everything else.
Really? See,
Yes,
I
and
like making pecan pies from scratch. I just don't. They over there. I just don't like the whipping process. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like when you make that when you make use the syrup and use the butter and the pecans and all that kind of stuff, you gotta mix it for like 30 minutes.
You ain't even got to do that
I'll
with
be
this one,
sitting there like, oh my god, I gotta keep whipping it with,
girl.
otherwise the eggs are gonna start curdling.
Girl, you ain't really got to do it too much like that with this one. Because
Really?
yes, because what the secret behind it is, the reason you ain't got to whip it so
Pull your
much
feet wet.
is you let the sugar substance, like, you don't get it
Mm-hmm.
hot, so it don't curdle. You get what I'm saying? And you make sure
Mm-hmm.
your eggs are at room temperature. You get what I'm saying? Like, keep them in your bowl while you're doing the other thing. And she
Oh,
made it. She just, I tell you, when I find
okay.
that, I got the video saved. I will
You need
put
to
it on
send me
my
that on
community wall.
IG or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will tag you in it, and I'll be like, this is the one I was talking about. And girl, it was firm. It was amazing. Everybody loved it. Like, it was a hit. And then I made a sugar-free cheesecake too. Because
Girl,
nowadays,
I ain't never. See, that's the only way I ever made a pecan, putting it all in the pan. And it's kind
mm-hmm,
of just like with those German chocolate cakes. How you have to sit there and you gotta stir the
mm-hmm.
frosting pieces. That's the same.
Girl, I
Oh, who
couldn't
would?
find my stand mix. I couldn't find my little the little mix thing. So I was over there trying to make that cheesecake, and you got to steadily beat that cheesecake, right? My
Mm-hmm.
damn hand was giving out after the 3 minutes. I was hurting. I was like, "Oh, baby Jesus!" And then I
You
found it
better
after the fact. I was
you
like,
better
"Oh my
get
god!"
you a you don't have a stand mixer?
No, I don't have a sandwich. I had one of those, those little ones that have the buttons that go up to 4, and I couldn't find it
Oh,
at the
honey.
time.
I used to use those when I first started cake decorating business. I used to use that hand thing, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna put this on the separate plate.
What do you want to charge for?
I'm telling you, that thing, boy, them things will get you carpal tunnel.
Mhm.
I after like a year of using that when I didn't know any better, I finally got me a KitchenAid, and I swear it was like the best thing since sliced bread.
I'm
I
gonna give
was
me
like,
one.
man, them
Mm,
KitchenAids, catch them when they on sale. But I be telling people, if you make cakes on the regular, pies on the regular, anything like that where you got to do a lot of mixing, get you a KitchenAid, because I'm telling you, that handheld mixer, I've been making desserts for like 7 years, and I don't know where that thing went. I ain't seen that thing in years. Like I don't use it no more at all. Like at all.
I couldn't even find mine, so I did it the old-fashioned way with a whisk. You talking about
Girl,
somebody's hand hurting?
girl. You don't want no more? That's good for you?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. All right, bro.
So,
Love you.
man.
I'm just gonna find this recipe right quick, and I'm gonna put it on my computer. I'm gonna put it on my computer while I tag you in it, so you can get it. Oh, there it
Please.
is. There it is. Let me go share.
All right,
Save
drive safe.
code.
Love you.
Add.
But yeah, lock the bottom lock. I'll get the top. But oh, one day, I remember this like it was yesterday. But you know how Bree makes her pound cakes, right?
Yeah.
And one day, this was like a year ago, and Bree was making pound cakes, and she was using that hand mixer thing, and she was just a mixing and a mixing, and she needed something. I forgot she needed a recipe for the glaze. It was like a lemon glaze or something. And so I hit the link, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you this recipe that I use for my glaze. And I said, and by the way, you might want to invest in a KitchenAid mixer or something, because she always used that handheld mixer. And I'm like, she said, but I don't be baking that much. I said, child, you get you one of those KitchenAids, Charlie, and you're gonna find yourself doing a lot more. Because it's
Oh,
like all you do is just dump the shit in there and it just do everything for you.
in that recipe, I didn't use cornstarch because it's gonna tell you to either use flour or cornstarch. I use flour because it was better. You know what I'm saying? Cornstarch. For some reason, I don't like cornstarch a lot because it sometimes leaves an aftertaste, in my opinion. That flour does not. But I did all I beat my eggs up. I didn't have to do no fluffing, no nothing. And trust me, it came out perfect.
Yes, please send me that recipe. Because
I
I was
girl,
telling my son today, I'll try anything once.
the only thing I substituted in that recipe that was a little different than hers, which she tells you can use instead of using the true trivia sugar, I use
Uh-huh.
Splenda sugar. You know, the no,
Mm-hmm.
I basically used the Splenda and the Splenda brown sugar because that's what she tells you to do. But I like some people like the trivia, but
Yeah, I like the Splenda better. I mean,
I
I
like the
don't
Splenda.
necessarily use them a lot, either one of them. But if I had to choose, it would definitely be the Splenda.
The Splenda don't leave an aftertaste. I even make my
Yeah.
daddy sweet tea because we in the South, and in the South, sweet tea is the wine of the South. So I started
Mm-hmm.
making him sweet tea with Splenda. And I'll tell you this: if you don't know this, my fiance didn't know this. If y'all don't have Milo sweet tea, anything you get out of a can is not going to be. Arizona is not good. Arizona sweet tea is not good. Get you some Milos if you can get it. It's
Mm-hmm.
Milo. That you can get it. They have the unsweet, the regular sweet, and then the 0 calorie, 0 sugar, which is made with Splenda.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Best sweet tea you ever drank out of a jug. I homebrew
See,
mine
I'm
though.
not a real tea drinker, but for the people out there who are, feel free to take her advice. I just
Hmm.
never been a real tea. Just if it ain't like filled with a whole bunch of sweetness, I can't fuck with it because it's just I don't know if it's like this bitter. I don't know. It's this
You ain't
weird
never
taste that leaves in
you
my
ain't
mouth.
had good sweet tea then. We're gonna have to make sure you get some good sweet tea then.
I like sweet. I love sweet tea, but it's like some people will be like, "Oh, I don't need nothing in it," or "I just need a little." I'm like, I can
Mm-mm,
drink that
mm-mm.
shit without sugar.
I
Like,
can't do the unsweet sweet. I can't do that.
yeah,
My
I
grandma
love me
used to
some
drink
sweet
it that
tea.
way. I hated it. Ugh.
That's
And
just like coffee, though. I gotta have sugar and my coffee,
uh-huh.
sugar and my
Girl,
coffee.
Walmart sells the best cheap creamer you have ever had in your life. It's
Girl, that's
from
all I buy. It's
they
off
got
brand
this
creamer.
it's chocolate caramel, and oh
Uh-huh.
my god, like I don't know how much to say in the bottom of a glass, but I swear to God, it tastes like I bought a coffee from like Starbucks or something. It's
Really?
that
And it's
good.
called chocolate caramel?
Mm-hmm. It's an off
Mm.
brand too. It ain't even expensive. It's like $2.68 a bottle.
I'm gonna have to check it because I always buy the off-brand creamers because I'm not all that bougie. I just need a creamer. That I don't. Yeah,
I was
I
on
just need
the
some creamer.
caramel train for a while, the caramel macchiato or whatever. And when I tried that chocolate caramel from Walmart, and it's got a a chocolate like label with a blue top, so you can tell it because it's literally looks like it's chocolate in a bottle. But the name brand version ain't even as good as that off brand because I've tried both.
I'm gonna have to try that. And like I said, I'll try anything once, especially if it sounds good. So I will definitely have to try that. But is bro, are you still there, bro? We just been talking about everything. He just been quiet. He probably fell asleep.
Yeah, he's probably over there snoozing a little bit, and then he'll come back to, oh, no, 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 I'm
No, he
awake.
probably puff puff. He puff puff and not passing. That's what.
Yeah, he's supposed to be passing now.
Hold up. When we first got on here, he said he was drinking some. What did he say he was drinking? God, I can't even remember what he was drinking. But yeah, he probably fell asleep over there. But yeah, I'm about to get my butt off of here. It's almost 11. Charlie, I don't know if you heard, but this is the time of the year where we be really busy at work, and I'll be working like
Mhm.
12 hours a day every day of the week. That's why I ain't been on here in like when the last time I've been on here?
It
Like a
was
week and a
before
half.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so that's the normal around the end of the year for me. You might see me once a week, if that. But
Hey,
I just try to
I
jump on
always
here
have
when I can.
fun. I always have fun over here at the hood table. And I told VS, I was like, oh, I'll be loving it over there. She's like, hood table, good peoples.
Yes, and I love me some BS. I've always loved me some BS.
What
So when she
I'm
came back, I remember before she came back, it was like a few months. I was like, oh, I know she's gonna come back and I can't wait. She's gonna light up these streets. And people was always talking shit because I was always talking shit. I was like, oh yeah, she gonna wait up these dry ass streets. But yep, I knew it. She came back, kicked the dough in, and it's been on ever since.
I'm telling you, I
Yep,
swear to
yep.
God, it's been on and popping. But I'm so proud of her and the accomplishments that she's made
Me
over
too.
these months
Me too.
because a lot of people don't know it, but when she left the first time, I was sick. I
Mm-hmm.
had a liver biopsy and everything done. It was because my gallbladder, but my liver went to going bad again. I have a liver condition that came from pregnancy, not because I was a
Oh.
drinker. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
drink. That's one
Mm-hmm.
thing I don't do. But yeah, I was sick as a dog. I came back and all that stuff went down. And at the time, I didn't have a cell phone because the way I used to contact people back in the day was through the internet. And so I was like, I didn't feel the need to have one because people could always call me through messengers the way I did it back in the day. And she had deleted all her social medias and everything was gone. And I was like, what? I was like, I was gone
She
for
was like,
2 days.
I ain't fuck. She said, I ain't fuck with y'all motherfuckers. Leave me the fuck alone. I see y'all when I see ya. That's how BS was like.
I,
And I
I
understand it. I
She
understand
did
it.
too. These people crazy. I mean, look what they do to some other people that's on papers on here. I mean, look at what they trying to do to Jay Dunn, even though
And you would think that they would, this was an example. Like even
yeah.
with Jay Dunn, I call her Jay Dizzle, but even with her, I'll be like, girl, the people is always after you. You just keep giving them something to call on somebody for. Like I understand you want to like stand your ground and you don't want to be silenced and all this kind of shit. But I'm sorry, my freedom is way more important than any beef on YouTube.
hmm
Like
I worry
seriously.
about her because I mean, I'm gonna tell you, these people. I mean, if they dox me as just being at the time a mod and a subby, right? And
Hmm.
we've seen what they do to other people, calling CPS, following people's children, trying to get people locked up, all kind of stuff, right? Just
Hmm.
terrible things. Why? Like, watch out for yourself. Look out for yourself, baby, because they don't care. You're
But you know
literally
what?
fodder for them.
I'm glad you brought that up. And we're gonna talk about this just for a few minutes because I really don't want to get into it. Not right
Okay.
now. But and I was about to jump off of here, but still you just said something, and it's crazy how people in the past have called CPS and made false allegations and things like that on parents. And then we have this thing with Uppity
Hmm.
where this stuff happened where we actually hear her cursing out and hitting on her child um who has a disability, and some people did call, but then we have people like basically like defending her.
I'm like, there ain't no
And
defense
I'm
in the
looking
world,
at it
baby.
like, I'm looking at how can you defend? And then I even heard that somebody said, "Oh, but people hit their kids all the time." I'm like, we're talking about regular kids. Oh, maybe I should say that. How should I say that politically correct, Charlie? I don't want
Avail
to say regular and not regular. You know what I'm
I would
saying?
say what's that word? I just had it. Um uh,
I know one
able
word we can't use
bodied,
is like mentally challenged. That's a good word, right?
able you have able children and differently able children.
Okay, okay. So able children and differently able because I'm trying to be respectful. I don't want to, disrespect anybody's children like seriously. But I mean, I just can't see any defense in what I heard. Like really, it was very cringeworthy, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And then somebody said something like, "If this is how she acts when she thinks she's on mute,
What does
imagine when
she
she's
do?
totally not on the internet." But then I'm thinking like, well, when is she totally not off the internet?
What really upsets me about that situation is I do have a
Uh-huh.
special needs child. My son, he now is as if he was I'm gonna say normal because he has cerebral palsy. He had to have surgery to be like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? To be able to walk like everybody else and do like everybody else. And so I wasn't
Hmm.
on the internet when he was going through everything he was going through. He's almost grown now. But back then, I wasn't on the internet. I was too busy taking care of him, taking him to therapy appointments, taking him to see specialists. You know what I'm saying? He never like he didn't walk completely on his own like until he was 4 years old. I potty trained my son at 2 years old when he couldn't walk. So there's no excuse of the things that she's doing and allowing to be done to this. She could do so much more for the child. And being on this internet is not important. Like your child always should come first. And the fact that she's more worried about these people on the internet than doing that. She's screaming at the kid because she's, oh, I'm doing something.
Right, because she wants to be on YouTube. Hmm.
Yeah, that shouldn't, no, your kid should always come first. Everything else comes second. Why wasn't that child in
Hmm.
bed that late at night anyway?
And see, that's why I said when it comes to people defending, like my child, my oldest one, he did have sicknesses. He wasn't like mentally or anything like that
Yeah.
challenged or anything, but he did have seizures and he had severe asthma, so he was in and out the hospital a lot. But after he even overcome that, because he was on so many medicines that eventually, you know how people can grow out of their asthma
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So he like grew out of it and starting around sixth grade or sixth grade, junior high, he was in sports like all the time, all year round, like 4 or 5 different sports. And my youngest son, because I only got two boys, he was in sports from like the age of 7. There was no way.
I'm just gonna say this as a parent. I get exactly where you're coming from. The only reason now I have the free time
Gotta
to
get some
do
water.
stuff is because he is, 16 years old. Fist to be. He'll be 16 coming up in like 3 weeks. Um, so it's because of him, basically being able to do stuff on his own now that I get more free time. But when he was little,
Hmm.
I didn't have a free
That's
moment to
what I
blink
be
my eye
saying.
right.
Like, how, even if your child is not dealing with a sickness or an ailment, people on here be on here all day. I'll be working, so I'm always working. So if you ever see me in somebody's chat, I'm usually working. And I'm just drop down, hey, what's up? Good, how you doing? Whatever. And I'm listening. And like people be telling me about things that be in the chat. I don't read chats. And I don't read chats because I can't read chats because I'm working all the time. So if I jump in your live, 9 times out of 10, I ain't reading shit in the chat. I'm now if somebody highlight my name and I'll respond to somebody like highlight my name because I can see the highlight. But other than that, people like, girl, did you see what such and such said? Did you see what such and such said? People be screenshotting chats and all that shit. I don't be knowing what's going on. I don't even hardly read my own damn chat. But anyway, my point is when your kids are that little, even if the child didn't have an illness, if she cussed her child and hit her child because she wanted to be on YouTube, it would have been just as bad for me. Like just as bad.
She posted a video on her own channel of the child eating a Swiffer and being in a cabinet. First off, how did your child get a hold of it? Because when my son was little, I baby proofed the house. I watched him. He wasn't getting into nothing that could hurt him. Not nothing. And that upset me because I was a single parent all the way up until I got my fiance now that we're supposed to get married. We've been together 4 years. But before then, I did everything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And my child never, and you know this, you've went through it, never got into nothing. Never got, because I watched him. Like you can't take your,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you know your child is differently abled, you have to keep a stronger eye on them. And at that age, they should be on a schedule. They should be going to bed at a certain time, getting up at a certain time, eating
Yep.
breakfast, lunch. You know what I'm saying? If Now I had to stop my son's nap time when he turned 2 because of his CP, he couldn't run around and do the things that other normal kids do can get their energy out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn different techniques with him. I had to stop the naps because it would make it to where he couldn't sleep at night. Like he would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and want to be up. And I was like, this is not happening. So I had to cut nap time off completely. Like, so he would sleep through the night. Yes, he was a little grumpy come 6, 7 o'clock at night, but he was in bed every night at 8 o'clock. He got up every morning around 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? But he slept through the night. Now, when he was younger, did I have friends that I talked to after he went to bed? Yeah. But I would have to give up my sleep and know I would feel like crap the next day just to do that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it didn't affect him. If she wanted to do these things, she can continue to do her YouTube, but do it
Just
when
wait
you
till the baby
know,
sleep or wait till
yeah.
they.
And you're going to have to give up some of your sleep and you're going to feel like boo boo the next day. Just know that's going to be a thing, but wait till your child's asleep, and I know people I have 2 cousins who are autistic on the different ends of the spectrum. I know a child that will never go beyond the age of 5, and she's older than I am. But you can still teach them things. You get what I'm saying? To better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
One of my cousins he's literally like 4 years behind his normal age when it comes to progression. And the other one's his is violent autism. But in the spectrum of things, if she actually took more time up, that child would probably be more further along than what she is at 4 years old. Because especially when they're
Yep.
really young, they're like a sponge versus
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do those things. I had a friend who should have put her child in speech pathology when he was 2. He didn't speak well until he was 4 years old, when they actually did finally put him in speech, 4 or 5, because they caught it in like pre-K or kindergarten. I told her when he was a year and a half and he wasn't speaking but one word utterances, I said, you should get him into speech therapy because early intervention, that's key for a child. But hey,
It
that
is
lady,
early intervention, and you also have to like, without saying names, I'm gonna just say there's somebody I knew when I was younger. I was a young parent, and they were too. And their child used to do different things that were considered like odd.
yeah,
Like you know how autistic children is when they get stuck on something, they really stuck on it. You know what I'm saying? No
yeah,
matter what it is. And so this child would just do certain things, and I'm just like, what's wrong with this child? And other people saying the R word, or the child got the R word, or the child is just bad, or the child is just this, that, and that. And I used to always say, I really think you need to take your child to the hospital and see if there's something else. And they wouldn't for years. And then I don't know what it was that made them, but one day they just made the choice to take him to the hospital and found out the child was autistic. And I mean, this was years where everybody was teasing the child, bullying the child. They was getting in trouble all the time, grounded just for doing things that they really didn't have no control over. And I
Mm-hmm.
kept suggesting it, and they didn't listen to me. And finally, they did it, and come to find out, and I was like, I knew it. I knew the child wasn't the R word. I knew it. I just knew, that something else was going on. So you really have to be vigilant when you raising children these days, because back in our day, oh, they just bad. They just need their ass beat. They just need this. They just or they put them on Ritalin, or they put them on some kind of bipolar medicine. All kind of shit they used to
Mm-hmm.
do to us when we were younger.
Well,
Or our parents who didn't have no insurance, they would just beat our ass. And that was it.
like like me with
I'm a
my
beat the.
ADHD.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you want
beat
to
the
show out
ADHD
at
out of
school?
you.
Yeah, the teacher say you bad, I'm gonna beat that shit out of you. You're gonna be acting right, and still, I think some kids that even grew up who were always spanked or whatever, they still have some issues because it was never treated. Besides being punished all the time, and then they older now, you be like, what the fuck wrong with that motherfucker? It's like my mama whooped my ass instead of taking me to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
I
in her situation, she knows that they have issues like that. So it's just, I don't know. I spent so much time with my kids, Charlie, so much time. And even though YouTube wasn't what it was when my kids was growing up, we still had social media, we still had different things, and they were like 95% of my time. If I wasn't working, I was dedicated to them and their hobbies and their sports and their extracurricular activities. So when I see these parents on here, hour after hour after hour, two, three, four, five lives a day, they on one panel, then another panel, then another. I'm like, how the fuck? Who the fuck is raising your kids and feeding and cooking and cleaning the house and helping with homework? Like, who is doing it?
I did
It
not
can't be
have
you.
I didn't have the time to even take a shower sometimes by myself, much less like I had to take a quick one sometime, like 5 minutes. I got really good at that. Um, I got good at those five, and or take my shower after he fell asleep, so I could actually take a good long shower. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, if it was, Mama, can you watch the baby for a minute while I go take a shower? It would be 5 minutes back to right what I was doing, taking care of him, doing laundry. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Cooking,
Mhm.
cleaning, taking care of the yard. Like I was quite literally doing everything. I'm like, how do you have all this time? Like I didn't have none. I
Man, my
literally,
hands
my
was full
everything was
too.
my kid. Everything.
My hands was full too. And my little brother that just left here, the one that was on the panel with us tonight,
Hmm.
he's the baby of the family. And so when I moved out and got my own shit, even though my first shit was like in the projects, but when I got out and got my own shit, you know how the siblings are. Sometimes they just want to be with their older siblings instead of at
Yeah.
home with mama. So he was always at my house, and I was like, "Shit, you always here? Shoot, I can use you. I can use you to help me out around the house." So I was working full time, and I wanted to go to college because I didn't go to college right after high school. And so I wanted to go to college. And he's like, yeah, 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 I can help you out, whatever, babysitter. What? I said, I don't even need you to do that. Just help me potty train. He was like,
Hmm.
potty train. I said, while I'm going to school full time and working full time, just help me potty train. Get my son potty trained so that I could get him in daycare and I won't have to worry about no Pampers because I was already on limited income. I was trying to get an education. I was going to school, trying to work, whoop, 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 whoop. And I'm telling you, both of my brothers together, they had my oldest son potty trained. I swear to God, it was 2 or 3 months. That boy, and they started when he was one. So by the time he was 1.5, I didn't have to buy no more Pampers. He was in straight draws. Like, so sometimes, even if you as a parent can't literally do everything at once or you're spreading thin, if you have that family, if you have that support, take advantage
Hmm.
of that. But I'd rather for people to do that and take advantage of their resources than just be up here all day, every motherfucking day. And then we hearing you beating your damn child because they need a little bit of fucking attention from your ass.
I could understand if like the child was like trying to go, which even then I can't fully understand. Like if the child was going to try to turn on the stove and put her hand on it, saying, no, don't do that kind of situation.
Exactly. or
But
iron or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, but just doing it because you're not watching them, you're not paying attention, and you're on YouTube, and YouTube is more important, and you're getting angry because they're making racket. If you listen to it, the child
Yeah.
was just literally, I don't know what she was banging on, technically. I didn't, like, obviously couldn't see that. We could only hear things, but the child was making a lot of racket and she was screaming at her to stop. First off, a child that's autistic is not going to quite understand what you're screaming at them for. You have to get eye level and speak
Especially
calmly.
at 4 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, and even a 4-year-old, even an abled 4-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Um, they're still not gonna, they're gonna be like, huh, why are you hollering at me? I don't understand. You have to say, no, don't stop, in a very firm voice. Take away what they're doing, correct them, give them a correct toy to play with, and go, this is what we play with. You know what I'm saying? If they're trying to do something they're not supposed to, it's the same thing. No, we
Mhm.
don't do that. Direct them to something else. Because with a small child, and especially if this child is autistic, which means their learning curve, if they're 4 right now, they probably are behind, and as if they're a 2-year-old. So think about what a 2-year-old thinks. She's not thinking like a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's thinking like a 2-year-old. She just wants to play. So what
And she
do?
really doesn't know
Redirect.
how to think. That's another thing.
Yeah.
She really doesn't know how to think. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, she already, based off of court documents that we saw and her son, which I still think is a very weird situation for him to be on YouTube. But take that part away and still look at the court docs. Like, you've already been in trouble for this before, with your children being taken away because they felt like you weren't a fit parent. And then you on here all day, every day on YouTube. Like, I don't get it. I'm like, you already had your children fucking taken away from you when you weren't on YouTube, and now that you done found YouTube, child. I don't know.
I'm gonna say it like this. Like, she's lucky she doesn't live in my state, because in my state, once you lose rights to one child, you lose rights to every child thereafter. So if you get your rights stripped from you, let's say you had 2 kids previously and you get your rights stripped to those 2 kids, and you 5 years down the road have another child, if they even suspect anything, or if they had got a call, they could strip your rights right then and there if they wanted to, because you've already proven you're an unfit parent. That's the way they look at it. So I don't know what
And
the
then you got
state.
to try to get them back, all of them back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the state things are for up there or whatnot, because obviously I've not looked it up. But I will say she better watch her P's and Q's, especially with these people on YouTube. She gets them mad enough, and she gets certain people in the
But
deep
they
secret
already
mad.
calling. Even ZX and other sectors are calling. And me personally, I would never be in that type of situation. But I would have ran so far off of YouTube.
Shoot, I wouldn't be here no more. I would disappear like a poof, be gone.
They be like, uppity who?
They'd be like, "Where'd she go?" I don't even know, man. I ain't seen her in like 2 years, man. Because I wouldn't, for the life of me, do something to, first off, lose my child like that. And I sure wouldn't do it on live where they could actually show proof. Thirdly, I'm not that type of person. But anyway, I, my
I would have
child would
shut
mean
my whole
more.
channel down. That
Dude,
shit would have been deleted, hidden. Nobody
I'd
would
be
be able to find
gone.
me.
People be trying to send a search party, like, with the flashlights. Hooty hoo. Nope, I still ain't there. Marco, ain't no Polo
Uh-uh.
here. Polo
I
ain't here.
wouldn't
What you
have
talking
no.
about?
I would have skipped town. I would all kind of shit. Ain't no way in hell I still be on here like the very day, the next day, and you still on here all day.
And
Like, that's crazy to me.
where we were talking about like people in the past, how they did that, they literally called it on some people in the past just because like a child had a stain on their
Come
shirt
on.
or
Uh-huh.
something weird, something that ain't even like terrible like that.
Yep.
It'd be because their hair
Also
wasn't done
blue.
right. Like their hair wasn't
Mm-hmm.
done. I'm like, that isn't necessarily neglect, but go ahead with your bad self.
Because they just want to be mean and evil, and that's why I said I would have been gone. Like, you know how these people are. She ain't even from our sector. So you know how they are over here, and you know how they are where you came from. And you still on here every day, all day.
I didn't know where
Doing, I
she
mean,
came
it's not
from.
even it's not even that important. The shit
She
that
just
you dealing with on here is not that important. All these damn challenges and all this kind of shit. Challenge yourself to be a better parent. That's what I say.
I'm gonna tell you this one, something ain't all there with her because one day this was when I was moderating for Coolin or whatnot, and Coolin had a guest up on the panel and they were talking about something.
Excuse me.
And you know, if I'm moderating for anybody, if there's a guest on the panel and the content creator wants that way, you don't disrespect the content, the the guest. Like you can ask them questions and you can disagree with what they're saying, but don't bring it. It was so bad, the chat of what she was saying and doing, that even other people in the chat were feeling uncomfortable asking her to stop. And she was trying to cuss people out in the chat and all this other stuff. And I finally, after a while, because I was trying to ignore what she was doing, because Coolin doesn't necessarily like to block. You know what I'm saying? She likes having different people in the chat. So I was trying to abide by her rules. But it got so bad that I actually had to open my mouth and say, could you please stop? You know what I'm saying? That girl cussed me out and blocked me for no reason just because I was moderating. I was like, something wrong with you, child. From then on out, I was like,
Man,
I ain't, I ain't paying attention to her. I think I think they need to test her also.
well, you know what? I
Something
don't
ain't
think she's
right.
ever been. I don't think she's ever been over here, and she ain't gotta ever come over here
Mm-hmm.
because I just don't fuck with certain people on a certain level, and that's not somebody I want to fuck with. But I do challenge herself, and that's all I'm gonna say to end this shit. I challenge herself to be a better parent. That's what I challenge her to pay more attention to her children and less attention to YouTube. And that's all I gotta say because these people will fuck your entire life up, and then in the end, it's gonna be who fault? Yours, not
They don't
theirs.
they don't care. If they cared about her whatsoever, they would be telling her, hey, you need to disappear for a little while. Like these people are on your neck serious. You need to go take care of your kid, start showing some life updates of things you're doing with your kid that are positive. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to
Yeah, start
change
one of
some of
those
this.
channels. Like
Yeah,
do a autistic. Like there's an autistic. There's so many different areas on YouTube and sectors. Like you could be doing an autistic sector and showing how to care for autistic child. Show how to teach how to. I mean, you could be doing all kind of stuff on YouTube besides this fuck shit.
and they want her up there for all that time knowing she does have a small child in the house. You see what I'm saying? You catch what I mean? They don't care. They're going to use her up, and when
Clicks and views. Hmm.
when they're done, they're going to throw her away, and it's not going to hurt them. It's going to hurt her and her life. She needs to think more
Yeah.
about herself and really realize not everybody on YouTube is your friend.
And because I mean, when it get down to it, that's one thing I've learned over the years. When it get down to it, it's all about commentary. It's all
Hmm.
about commentary. It's about clicks and views and cash apps and super chats. That's what it boils down to on here. And you either gonna be the type of content creator that will do anything it takes to get clicks, views, and money, or you're gonna be the type of content creator. Well, okay, I like to be on here, but I ain't gotta necessarily do all this bullshit to get a coin because I don't need it that bad, or I just my morals aren't set up that way, or my values and morals and things like that. It's just not set up that way. And it's like two different type of content creators that you can be on here.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the one
And
that come on here and have fun. And if you happen to get a cash app, thank you, boo. I appreciate it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But if you don't get a cash app, you ain't on here, like I ain't coming back ever again. Ain't nobody gave me no cash app. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I come on here for fun. I come on here to shoot the shits, talk to my piece from my local city, everybody else, and we just talk shit. We shoot the shit, and that's it. I don't be on here begging. Now you might see my cash app run across the bottom, but I don't be on here begging. I don't hear the cash app. I'm up here to have fun and to shoot the shit and talk about what people I think might want to talk about,
yeah, just being
and you
entertaining and having fun.
just being entertaining. And then you got the people on here who's so divisive and who's so scandalous and who's so, they just do anything for a bag, for a coin. So you got to choose what you want to be on here and how it's going to affect your life. And right now, uppity, being on here is not a good thing for you. It's not a good look for you at all. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
in the
anywho, when
street.
you going live again, girl?
Shoot, I don't know, because my mother-in-law's coming down from New York to bring some stuff, and we moving things, some more things. I've been in the process of moving for like ever, because I had to put moving on halt because we had something come up when the workman had to come up and fix some stuff. It's been a process. So
Oh, I understand, and congratulations about the new house
thank
and
you,
everything,
beautiful girl.
because
Thank you.
that is such an accomplishment, especially in these
Yes.
days, child.
Shoot, I'm trying to get that generational wealth going for my son. Something
I
happened to
know
me, I
that's
want to make
right.
sure he's set. You know what I'm saying? I'm his only, like, he's got my mom and daddy. You know what I'm saying? He's got my fiance now and his mom and dad, but he's basically an only child at the same time.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
his other side don't have nothing to do with him really.
Hmm.
So I'm all he got pretty much. So if something happened to me in this world, I got to make sure he's okay,
Hmm.
because
I get it.
our children are our future.
Yes,
Our
I
children are our
believe the
future.
children are
Children are our
future.
future.
I used to love that song.
And teach the way.
Let
Give them
them
all the
lead the
beauty
way.
and all the
Oh, I saw
beauty
you
they
singing on
possess
Duchess too.
inside. Give
What was
them
up with
grace
that?
and surprise. That's uh Whitney Houston.
Yeah, no, I was saying that was one of my favorite songs growing up, but I was saying, what was that you was doing with Duchess? Is he having some type of
Oh,
challenge?
no, we were just playing around. He was in a live and there wasn't but like 2 or 3 of us in there because he went on his backup
Oh,
channel. He got a backup
okay,
channel because he can't go live on
okay.
his main channel right now.
Yeah, I heard he was struck. I
Yeah,
heard
he
he
got
was
struck, girl. He got
struck.
struck.
Now he
And
got
so I was
struck
just
by what's her name? The lady he used to be friends with. What's her name?
Ronnie,
Ronnie
Ronnie IQ.
Q.
Yeah, Ronnie
Oh
Q.
yeah, he got struck. Ooh, I
We were
hated it.
we were sitting there and he was singing. And I was like, "Oh, I'm harmonizing with Jess." He's like, "All right, bet." He's like, "Get your second device to record." I said, "Okay." The only problem was with me with harmonizing. I think he has a different view of harmonizing from me. I was in choir, so it does mean like you sing along with someone, but you either raise or lower the tempo.
You either take the high or you take the
Like
low.
the low, yeah.
That's what
And
harmonizing is. Yeah.
that's what I was trying to do. But the problem was that because I was recording from his video, my laptop wasn't as loud as I am.
And that's
So,
okay because I thought it was really good. And that's literally what, when you grow up in church. I used to sing in chorus in school and at church. So
same.
harmonizing, yeah, you definitely got to hear all uh the different levels, like the soprano, the alto, the tenor. You got to hear that all at the same
I
time
was
to be harmonic. So, yeah.
I was the lead alto and lead soprano in my choir.
See, I
Yeah.
used to be like a first soprano, then I became a second soprano, then I started smoking cigarettes and other shit. Then I became a second soprano, then I became
That
but
the
I can still
crazy
hit a
thing,
couple of high notes, I can still hit a couple of second soprano notes every now and then. But
I have to practice my low notes because I'm actually better at the higher range than I am the lower range.
Oh, but my
It
falsetto is the truth, honey. My falsetto be falsettoing, okay?
let me find out you on Star Maker or Smule and see if I don't follow you.
Girl, you better look under my videos and check my challenges. Shoot, I did the Usher challenge. I did the Tevin Campbell challenge. I did a whole bunch of different challenges. I be sitting on here singing every now and then, but you know, it's when I feel like it. When I feel like
I literally for myself with my range and stuff, I've been practicing more. And even though I am a smoker, which is bad, I still have that range. You know that high point that you can hit in the Star Spangled Banner?
it.
I can
Mm-hmm,
hit it and hold it.
mm-hmm.
And that is a very high note. But I'm gonna tell you some. A lot of people don't realize some of the hardest songs to sing are actually, in my opinion, because I'm not a bass or a tenor, is sometimes the lower ones where you
Yeah,
have to hold
yeah,
those
that's
low,
true.
deep notes. Because if you're depending on your tone and how you sing, for everybody it's going to be different. Like some people, the high notes are hard to hit, and for other people's, those really low notes are hard to hit. I had somebody
Yeah.
swear to God that I was like I looked like Adele in one time, and then I had this dude I met in I was in Pennsylvania. He swore up and down I looked like Dolly Parton. I was like,
Well,
because
either
I'm
way, those are both compliments.
I know, right? I know why he said that because I had my boobies out that day
Uh
and I
oh.
grew a tree, and that's why. And my fiance was sitting there and he was laughing at the guy because the guy was totally hitting on me, and he knows, like my fiance knows, my heart's with him. I'm not going anywhere, and so he was totally laughing about it.
That is too funny. But yeah, those are I take both of those as compliments. But yeah, it's like when you singing, there are some songs that I've tried to sing and it'll be like a low note and it automatically goes to a higher note and it's kind of hard for me
Mhm.
to switch. You know, just naturally like that is a gift to naturally go low to high like within like a few
Matter of
notes,
seconds.
a
Yeah.
matter of seconds. So that's one thing I love about that doggone Whitney. Oh God, I
Oh,
miss her so much. I just
that
I
lady's
still can't believe she's
voice
gone.
and tone. Because here's the thing, you
Yes.
can sing all day long, and her tone was just, it was like butter. Like no matter what, she could sing me to ABCs, and I'd be
Mhm.
like, "Oh my God, that's so beautiful."
That's
You
why
know
they
what I'm
call her an
saying?
angel. That's why they call her an
She did.
angel because it was like no
She had the.
other
I
people can
think
come close, but you
I
know,
think I cried the hardest when she tried to sing on the Oprah show after
oh
the drugs, and her voice broke like it did. Girl,
Lord,
I was
Lord,
crying watching that TV show. I was like,
Lord. I think I was the most affected when her and Bobby did that
mhm,
show. The Bobby show or whatever it was called,
yeah,
being with Bobby or something like that. And the way she was acting and all that kind of shit. But I really hate that she's gone. But what's even worse is the fact that her daughter basically went out
yeah.
like the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way. And that just gave me some freaky, weird feeling. Like, you know how some people they just can't go on if somebody else, you know, they really want to still be here. And it's so weird, like how she just went out like kind of the same way, not that long after. Like,
It was like 1 year, I believe, or something like
yeah,
that.
it's like, did she plan this? Was it not planned? Because some people think that she was murdered. Some people think that, you know what I'm saying?
I think the
But
boyfriend had something to it because he also recently, not too long ago, I heard passed, and it was.
right.
Yeah, and if you watched any interview with him after that or anything he was saying, he was always so messed up. I think he couldn't deal. See,
Yep.
the reason they said that about that about the daughter instead of Whitney is with Whitney, they do believe that she pretty much OD'd, right?
Yep. Yep.
But I do believe it was the drugs that the boyfriend was giving Whitney, and that's why he couldn't forgive himself. And I think that's why him and Bobby Christina started fighting all the time. Because she's like, well, you're the reason my mom's not here anymore. You gave it to
Yep.
her. You know what I'm saying? And because there was a struggle, them two were fist fighting before it happened, before she went to the bathroom, and she was found face down, where Whitney was found just laying in the tub,
Right.
normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was found in the tub face down. That's not a normal position for anybody that's getting in the bathtub.
Right.
And that's why there's like so much controversy over Bobby Christina specifically, more so than Whitney. The reason
Mm-hmm.
Whitney passed actually showed it in the autopsy. She had so much in her system, and the fact that she was in the hot water, it
Yeah.
it intensified everything, and that's the reason why she OD'd and went to sleep and never woke back up. It
It's
was
so
the
sad.
compound of the things together. Like if she had been in the bed, she might still be here instead
Mm-hmm.
of being in that hot water. They said it was something to do with the high temperature of the water, with her also being, she was so intoxicated with alcohol in her system, and she had a few drugs, but the drugs wasn't like crazy. She didn't take a whole lot, if that makes sense. But with all that combined and the heat of the bathtub, it opened up her, like they say, it opened up, like, you know how to open up your pores and stuff, but it like raised the temperature in her
Mm-hmm.
body. And they say that's what actually led to, the poisoning basically, and led to her OD.
Well, I
I
know
watched too
everything
many
happens for a
documentaries on it.
reason. So did I. And I'm like, I am a firm believer of whatever happens for a reason. We're gonna all go at we all destined to go a certain way, a certain time. So, and sometimes the way we go leaves a message or a revelation for people
Mhm.
who are still here. So I think that was a message and a revelation in that whole situation. Hopefully certain people who was supposed to get that message got it, because I truly do, just like with Pac and just like with all the big ones who out there that we just like, why? Not the natural deaths, but the overdoses and the getting shot and different things like that. Like
Yeah.
why them? So I think everything happens for a reason, and we just gotta, sometimes it's just not meant for us to understand, and we just can, take the memories and hold the memories and you know,
Yeah, that Keefy D thing's crazy. With Tupac, like
child.
I've been watching that go down too. Like I love Tupac because I'm gonna say this, of the, like, in the rap area, my favorite thing about rap is the lyricist, the people who can put the stories together. You know what I'm saying? And make it go, oh my God, that's so prolific. That's beautiful.
Like the punchlines. Like
Yes.
that's what rap used to be about, the punchlines.
That, and then that you could hear like a whole nother song, like you had these two going back and forth with their beef or whatnot, and there was the punchlines and make you go, ooh, oh no, he did. But then you hear
Yeah,
another song
right.
and it make you go, man, that makes me miss my mama. You know what I'm saying? Let me go hug
Right.
her right quick. You know what I'm saying? Like it went from,
Yeah.
like, you had emotions in the songs. Even if it was
Yeah.
a funny kiki ha, even if it was ooh, you know what I'm saying? It was something.
It was
The
kind of like Jonesing and the Your Mama
Mhm,
jokes and things like that.
mhm.
It was like,
We used to
man,
dance on the
if you was good, if you could make somebody be like, damn.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like we used to do on the playground. It was basically like
exactly.
you took what we used to do on the playground and you turned it into a rap. You turned it into a melody. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's basically what they did. That's basically
Mhm,
what they did. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
because we used to do that for fun on the playground. That's why I tell people, anything you say to me, like we were talking about this earlier, anything you say bad to me, I'm just gonna shrug it off, because I'm gonna tell you, when we was kids, I've gotten everything you could say about a white girl said to me. You are not gonna bother me, baby.
and see, I'm good at going back and forth and cracking the jokes. I just never been like that. Like when my brother was on here tonight, my sister fought. That's what I did. It was no arguing. It was no,
Mm-mm. I can't
it
stand
was
that.
just
Ooh,
like fighting. Like what you say, bow. That's just how I was when I was growing up.
it was
And again,
basically
like some people look at me and they be like, no, you wasn't that type of person. Like if you didn't know me and you didn't grow up with me, you gonna always think, no, I can't see you fight and not you. And
I
I
get
just
the
be
same
laughing at people
thing.
like,
No,
Don't test my gangster, bitch.
same. I'm gonna tell you that when I was younger, I was the type, don't do all that talking. Either jump if you feel froggy or shut up. Because I ain't gonna keep
uh-uh.
listening to you. I don't
My brother and them was like, we got a fighter on our hands. But no, that's why on here when people be going back and forth, I'll sit here, I'll listen, I'll watch. Somebody might even say something about me and I'll cuss or I'll say something back, but I just don't do the back and forth, yelling, arguing, acting a donkey. I just and no shade to the people who do because it is entertaining.
Mhm.
It's entertaining till it gets just to the point where I'm like, that's just too far. Just leave it on YouTube. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
But other than that, it is entertaining, so I don't judge the people who do act like that. It's just not in me
it's not. Yeah, it's
to
not
to
for
do
you.
that.
It's
Yeah,
it's,
it's
it,
not for me. So
it's
yeah.
not your thing. It's their thing. Do your thing, boo boo. But I ain't gonna
Right.
do it.
Right. Do your thing. Get on here, clown, act a fool. All that kind of stuff. It's just not in me. So, but yeah, I no judge or no shade to the people who do. I'm
Now,
still gonna watch and get my little key. And if I think it's going too far or I can't, stomach it, I'll just turn it off and I'll go to another video.
now I be petty and I be in chats being petty sometimes, but that's only very rarely, and it's usually just jokes and stupidity.
Hmm.
It should never be taken for like, ooh, like I'm going after. Because for me, it's always gonna be something stupid. I'm gonna say
Hmm.
like I was in the Mo 3 sector playing around. We were in a chat talking about another person over there. I was literally just bouncing off his jokes and he was bouncing off mine. And we were just going back and forth with it. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing on my end that was so serious because first off, I don't really know the guy like that. I was just I know of him, but it ain't nothing serious. It was jokes because that's what we used to do in the playground. You know what I'm saying? We make jokes. And sometimes I'm a little petty. And back in the day, I was really
But
petty.
everybody is like
Not so much
everybody is
now.
petty over here.
Yeah.
Everybody is petty. Some people is real petty, or even some people are grimy over here. But for people to get upset over some pettiness, like come on now, the B sector started on petty, and it went from there, and and a lot of times it got worse. But yeah, some people on here they just want something to complain about and something to beef about, and they will make a beef and create a beef out of the most minuscule thing. And that's what I don't do. Like you're not going to create a big old beef with me over something so minuscule.
Oh, yeah. It's like the
And, and,
Halloween.
and and all you're trying to do is get money off somebody's back. That's basically what you're doing. But that is the motto. You know, that's
Yeah.
the motto. You pick a fight and you argue back and forth and you get clicks and views. That's the motto. But I don't go for the fake bullshit. Like we're just not gonna just concoct some shit. Just have me say something. Like I'm gonna look at you like you fucking crazy and keep it moving. And I'm
Oh,
very
yeah.
good at paying motherfuckers dust. I'm very good at that.
Or Nor game on
Why you
100.
sitting over there like, dang, she ain't gonna respond? See, now you can say I'm scared and all that kind of bullshit if you want to, but you done heard enough people say, even though my very close personal siblings, I ain't scared of shit. I ain't
Same.
scared of shit. And I used to lay hands on people like the motherfucking Baptist preacher. Okay. I used to lay
In the
hands
name
on
of
people
Jesus.
in the
In the
name of the Father, the Son. No.
and the Holy Ghost.
Shit. Like
I'm
that was nothing for me to fight a bitch. Nothing on site. Shit. That's why I be laughing at this shit on here. Like y'all motherfuckers get on site and y'all on quiet. Like y'all see a motherfucker in real life and y'all done went from on site to on quiet. Like I just be looking at this shit and in my mind. I'm like, damn, these niggas they ain't about that life. They just talking shit. And that's when you realize people on here, most of them is just talking shit. And
hmm
so why should I get all riled up and argue and fight and call each other names and all when I know in real life these niggas ain't gonna do shit. They just doing the shit for clicks and views. And it's entertainment.
Yep. At the end of the
So
day,
yeah. Keep
And
entertaining, child.
that's what I tell them when they try to come up to me. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch this from the sidelines. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
respond. You ain't gonna get nothing out of me because I know
Mm-hmm.
what you're trying to do. I already know you're trying to incite some stuff. It's not gonna happen.
Yep.
You're not gonna get the recognition you want. You're not gonna get the fight that you want. Cause first off, if you carry it too far, I'm gonna carry it too far. And I know myself and I don't want to wind up in jail.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like people on here, they can roast, gag, and all that kind of stuff. But then when they get in front of you in person, they'll call the cops real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
I'd
said
be
I'm
the
gonna do this to
one.
you, and I said I'm gonna do this to you, but in real life, I didn't really mean it. I didn't really mean it. You know.
I be even trying to drop the Addy on here and everything, and you show up, and then they call the cops on you, and you the one in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I'm like, no, because I'm gonna tell you something. If you see me go to jail, if you ever see me in the news, it's gonna be for one reason and one reason only. I done popped my ex in the mouth or something, and I'm gonna be smiling in my mugshot, or somebody done mess with my kid, and in
Somebody missed my
that is,
kids. That's what I'm about to say.
I'm gonna
Yep.
be up
But
on that
remember that
mugshot
shit.
smiling.
Remember that shit with Jazzy and them.
Mm.
Do you remember that shit when she went down there to that lady house when
Oh
she caught the
Lord.
Uber out of town?
Uh-huh.
Girl, that was it for me. I was like, no, this bitch didn't tell her to come to her house, and she won't even come out the house. And then she called the cops, and Jazzy on the other side of the street, and I'm like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Like, that's when I was like, y'all motherfuckers is fake as fuck. That's when I just knew. Y'all just fake as fuck. Like
They
you
do
told this
that.
bitch to come to your house, and then when she get there, you on YouTube for like 2 hours, got the cops on the line, and scared to come outside. And I was just like, wow, at least old girl now fought, when she went to her
Mhm.
house. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
oh
that ain't
y'all.
the only
Mm-mm.
fight that's been in that sector though. There's been 2 or 3. I
Oh, it's
thought
been a
they was
lot. Yeah,
shoot,
it's
I
been a
thought they
lot.
was gonna throw down the other day. There was another time, Queen and her sister from the Mo 3 sector, they was fist I thought she was driving over there to her, then she thought that her auntie was there she's got, thinking her sister gonna call the cops on her, so she didn't end up going. But I was like, shoot, we fisting see another one.
But see, they be fucking up though because if I'm gonna fight you, I don't even want it on camera.
I don't want
You
no
either
witnesses.
gonna believe that I won or you can believe that I lost because I'm not
I don't want no
putting shit
witnesses.
on camera. I'm not. You're not gonna
That's a
post this over my
me.
head. And I'm not incriminating myself.
Hostile. Yeah.
It's gonna be so quick. You ain't even gonna have time to pull out no camera and record. Like,
I don't want no witnesses because if we end up having to
nope.
go to the police, it's going to be a he said, she said situation.
Yep.
So neither of
Yep.
us go to jail. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a he said,
Yep.
she said at that point. I don't want no incriminating evidence.
Right. I'm like, why is y'all recording each other? I mean, I know
You
y'all
snitching on
want some
yourself at that
content
point.
and y'all want some commentary, but back in the day, we didn't record shit when we used to fight on the block.
You just meet each
I
other on the
mean,
corner.
and the motherfuckers who was there will just be like, oh yeah, she got beat the fuck up, or he got beat the fuck up, or they got beat the fuck. Like you didn't need no cameras and shit because you had like witnesses there, but you didn't
Mhm.
have no cameras. You didn't have no TikTok, no IG, none of that shit. It was just either you got your ass whooped or you did. I
Yep.
mean, but yeah.
Because
But
I know
anyway, girl,
exactly.
this is
Yeah,
some
girl.
style.
I swear to God, I used to do that back in the day too. In today's world, you can't even handle it like you used to.
Nope,
Like
nope.
if you try to do the, we gonna see who's better, people, liable to pull out a knife or a gun on you nowadays. Where back in the day, that wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day,
hmm
you was straight. Like you didn't have no
But even
problem.
on here, even
Yeah.
on here, if they ain't pulling no weapon, they still. I'm going down it like okay, we witnessing some shit right now where one person tried to say, oh, they're doing this to me, they're doing this to me, but like, and I hate to give people clout, but everybody know who we fucking talking about. But like I've said this so many times. How the fuck can you go down there and press charges and get restraining order, but then you jump your ass right back on your fucking channel
Mhm.
and talk and drag and all this kind of shit and bully and all this kind of shit the person who you didn't report it on. And then you just waiting for them to say something so you can go back down to the courthouse and say they was saying something about me. Like, see, I don't respect shit like that. That's why I say a lot of times on here the people I don't fuck with, it ain't because they did something to a certain individual. It's just their character and the moves they make, period, that I think is trash. And it's like, okay, I don't care who the fuck you picking on or who you beefing with, just the way you moving, I don't fuck with you. But
Yeah,
yeah,
hear my thing. You can't be hollering victim if you're victimizing.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
you got to quit playing that card if you're gonna keep doing it. If you want somebody to leave you alone, the best thing to do is not poke back at them and not speak about them, not on them or around
Exactly.
them. Like ignore
Exactly.
them. They're not there anymore. That person just doesn't exist.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like people say, I don't want them bothering me. Then they go on here, I'm scared of my life. I'm scared. I'm scared. And then the next day they talking shit about the person they so scared of. I'm like, child, y'all get the fuck out of here. But anyway, girl, I'm about to get off here. What time is it? It's almost midnight. And I got
Yes.
another 12-hour shift. I told girl, the end of the year, we be
I'm gonna say a prayer for
ah,
real for you. And see, that ain't the
please.
condescending southern. That's the real prayer, baby.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you because I'm like, man, I'm telling you, I'll be so like at the end of the year, towards January, February, if I get on here once a week, it's like a miracle because I'll be so swamped and busy with work. And when I'm off of work, it's like I gotta get my rest. So
Mm,
yeah, these 12-hour shifts be kicking my butt. But every now and then I have to jump on here and give y'all some love and talk to my peeps. So I appreciate you for jumping on here. My bro was on here. Now, see, the bro that be on here all the time, that is my bro from growing up because he used to be with my sis years and years ago. And even after they left each other and stop messing around, we continue to have like a relationship where, that's my bro, that's my sis, we cool, we
yeah.
good. So we still close and we always been that way. My bro who jumped on the panel tonight, that's like my real biological brother, the one who jumped on the panel to speak
Little
about
bro.
the situation with the boy. Yeah, that's the baby. That's my baby. So yeah, I appreciate him because he ain't that type of person that's be jumping on a, you hear him, yeah, he ain't really
Joe
that type of
seems got
person.
that pie too, though.
And I can't believe he even came over here. But now, see, normally he would have probably hit me up, like 5, 6, 7 in the evening or something like that. But he was like, "Fuck it, since you up, I know you gonna be on here online for a minute, so I'm gonna come now."
Hey, he knew that pie was
But
there. He's like,
shit,
I'm gonna come get some good
I ain't
food.
mad at him. Cause on holidays when I cook, cause after our mom passed, like 7, 8 years ago, I'm like the house where everybody comes. So, him and
Don't
my other
blame me.
brothers and they
I've
already
seen
know
your
shit. Come
cooking.
get this food. Shit. Come get this shit or it's going in the trash.
I've seen your cooking. I do not blame them. That food
Child,
and
I
that
be
is
cooking,
good.
baking. Shoot, I've been having orders lined up. I got another order this weekend, a baby shower order for a boy baby. But yeah, I be slanging cakes and slanging food, child, and working. Like
Shoot, you
you
got
know
your
what? I
hustle
always
on.
say you always gotta have 2, 3, 4, 11 jobs to make it in this world. So yeah.
Every day I'm hustling.
Every day I'm hustling, hustle. Yes, that used to be my shit. But yeah, girl. If you go live anytime soon, I support you. I really, really do. Um, I'm glad you got a YouTube channel now that you doing commentary on and stuff like that. Shoot, get out here and do what everybody fucking else is doing. Shit,
Loss.
and
I'm
give
gonna
your
make my point.
commentary just like everybody else.
I'm gonna make my point.
Yeah, make your coins, make your bag. Cause what Jay Wilson used to say is money on the flow.
I remember
I used to
that.
love what he used to say money on the flow.
Oh, I swear.
But yeah, it's money on the flow. So go out here and get your money and do your commentary. And it's always gonna be some haters.
I don't know why.
Always gonna be some
Mama,
haters.
shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah,
And
shake it
there we
off.
go.
Shake it off, shake them shoulders off, dust your shoulders off, and keep on moving and doing your commentary. And if you want to beef with people, beef. Other than that, just because you in the beef sector does not mean you have to beef. I'm a firm believer of that.
Very
So,
true. I'm gonna make it positive because
yes,
we all know I'm a funny, laughy, heavy person. But thank you
yes.
always for letting me up here the hood tables, and I enjoy your commentary. And thank you so much for being awesome.
You're welcome, and thank you as well for being so awesome. And the next time you go live, I'm gonna jump on your panel.
Oh yeah, we're gonna sit there and have fun.
Yes. And on that note, everybody, please, if you haven't already liked and shared the video and subscribed to the channel, please do so. And please go over there and go to Charlie Sent. Now, Charlie, I know your name in the chat says Charlie Sendin, but what's your actual YouTube channel name?
It's Charlie sending love.
Charlie Sending Love. So they got to put the heart in there, right?
No, that's just the nickname. The
Oh, okay.
actual,
So it's actually spelled out.
yeah, Charlie sending love.
Okay, so it's Charlie Sending Love, and it's actually spelled out, you guys, the love part. So make sure you go over there and support Charlie. She is she been here from damn near day one in the B sector, but just recently she started doing more commentary on her channel. So yeah, please support her, like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the Cash App if you feel compelled to hit my Cash App, the Hood Table 402. And again, there's a link in the chat, and I will also pin it to this video for the GoFundMe for the little boy who was shot and killed by his father on Thanksgiving Day here in Omaha, Nebraska. So there is a GoFundMe for that family, and I did drop the link in here, but again, I'll post it again to the video. But yeah, on that note, that just made me feel a certain way again. But I think I really am, Charlie, going to follow this story very closely. And since it's right here in my city, probably even go to the court days, to the trials and everything, because I want to see this all the way through and see what they're going to do to this sucker. Like,
I
for
would love
real.
to see that too. And because brother's not here right now, I'm gonna go ahead and remind everybody to brush their teeth.
Oh, yeah. In honor of our bro, brush your teeth and wash your face and stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. We out. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, boo.
Night night.
All right.